Yes, good afternoon and welcome back to the Saturday Football Show right here on DR Sports. Brilliant day, isn't it? Derby Day win for your boy AGT, the host today. I've also got a very happy Scouser sitting to the right of me. It's Doyle on the Saturday Football Show.
Yes! We love that. It's only Everton, I get it. Yeah, I get it. But it's the blue half of Merseyside and it's a big thing in Liverpool. So start the weekend off with a 12:30 win. What's better, lads?
Yeah. Can't beat it. And Liverpool go top of the league. More on that to come. But introducing our favourite co-host on the Saturday Football Show, Mr. Kadani Fuad.
Woo! The legend.
As they would say on Football Manager. How are you, my friend?
I'm very well, man. Very well. Another good week. Premier League's back. You know what I'm saying? I've had a good morning, fry up, fill up my breakfast. Nice. I knew there was going to be an eventful day. Start the day with the Merseyside derby, and then, of course, later on we get into the interesting one after the show as well.
Absolutely. Chelsea versus Arsenal to come on DR Sports this afternoon. But first and foremost, this is the Saturday Football Show. On entry, smash that like button. Let's get to 1,000 straight away. And then subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It's going to be a great show. Loads of 3 o'clock kickoffs to get through, including Brentford, Burnley, Bournemouth, Wolves, Man City, Brighton. That will be a good game. Newcastle, Palace. We're going to be speaking about Sancho Tonali as well later on in the show. Nottingham Forest, Luton, and as Fuad kindly mentioned, Chelsea host Arsenal at 5:30, and we will have that double shift today for you from myself and this man here. Putting in the hours on DR Sports, but we wouldn't have it any other way. It is a Saturday. And it is the Saturday Football Show. Welcome along. Comments are flooded already. Let's see then. The Sidon says AGT must have something to say about this robbery. I assume you're talking about the Konate second yellow. It is a yellow.
Yeah, fair play.
What do you want me? I've given you what you wanted, so well done. But we still won 2-0, so hold that.
We've had so many bad decisions given against us in the last few weeks. Yes, it was another yellow, and it should have been a red card, but it wasn't. And we got the look of the green for once this season. So I get it. I feel sorry for Everton in that way, but I don't because, we won 2-0, so yes.
Witto Oatman says Liverpool 2 pens, 4 and 2 reds for Spurs. Crying works, I guess. No, it's just called justice, my friend. Nunez is a baller. Fuad, talk to me. You were there when Nunez ran through pretty much the whole pitch in the second half to lay it off to Mo Salah to get his second of the day. Did what he needed to do off the bench.
Exactly what I was going to say, yeah. Pretty much the impact you want coming off the bench. And I think Klopp has been kind of using him in that role all season. Everyone's been kind of itching for him to maybe start games. But you've seen that when he has started, maybe that same impact isn't able to be done throughout the 90 minutes. But you come on against tired legs, that's the last thing you want. What was that? 3-on-2 counter-attack. The hair flowing. Nah, you don't want that. And especially when you got Mo Salah as well in the form that he's in at the moment. That was just a matter of Nunez, can you just get the right pass off? Because getting up the pitch is no problem for him. But it's just that final ball that people sometimes question. Yeah. And that was the right decision today. And you saw it. Listen, game could have easily come back 1-1, especially when you see 10 minutes added time. Yeah. You start getting a little bit nervous. You start thinking, oh.
We were a bit nervous. But let's go through the game chronologically before we get into the 3 o'clock lineups. Doyle, it started off very nervy, edgy. First 15 minutes, a lot of corners for Everton. They had a chance in the opening minute with Calvert-Lewin. The first kind of flashpoint of the game is that red card to Ashley Young. 2 yellow cards. Definitely. Is it just as simple as that?
I think the Ashley Young one, to give the referee credit, the Ashley Young one, it was 2 malicious tackles. They were both, he knew what he was doing, he was taking the man down, and you could see he kicked the man's leg out. Whereas with Konate, yes, it was a yellow, but he sort of just knocked him. He didn't kick his legs. It was one of them type of ones. So I think it was a definitely deserved red for Ashley Young, but if you're going to send him off, then you probably got to send Konate off.
And I agree with you.
But having said that, Liverpool were the better team. It was a bit slow and a bit drab, which you actually expect. I think everyone expects that from a 12:30 kick-off, especially after the international break, right? So for someone like Nunez to actually come on and have the impact after, what did he play on Thursday, was it?
Yeah.
And he's flew right back over the
Scored against Brazil.
Yeah, I know, for the first time. They won in years or something.
2001, their first win against them.
I'm really happy with the lads today, lad. That was brilliant.
The records will show it's a Salah double that takes Liverpool to the top of the league. It could very well be a short lead at the top of the table, but it was nervy at half time. I said to you, we're still going to win this 2-0. At 68 minutes, I said to you, we're still going to win this 2-0. And we did. Great penalty from Salah, definite pen.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
ref had to go to the screen,
was.
but I mean, when your arm is pushed right out here, and when you slow it down, it looks even worse. Like he's almost even tried to get there with his arm.
I do feel a little bit
Great
bad for
penalty,
Everton.
though.
Yeah, it was a great penalty, and Mo Salah actually put it in the corner for once. Lads slotted it. I do feel bad for Everton in the way that they defended really well, and
They did.
They were structured, lad. They looked like a
65
Sean
minutes
Dyche
or 70
team.
odd minutes with 10 men.
We didn't really cut chances out. We didn't, lad. So for the fact that they defended that well, they should have probably got something out of the game, but they made too many mistakes, lad. That red card was a red card. That handball was a handball. And at the top levels, lad, we all know what happens, bro.
And that's
you pay
that's
for
what
it.
you feel like has almost been costing Everton their own kind of
Individual mistakes.
Yeah, it's going forward. I think XG they're one of the highest as well, so they haven't been able to finish their own chances that they're creating,
Don't
which
have
is
the proper
you
one at the
don't
start,
normally
lad.
expect from a Sean Dyche side. But then defensive mistakes, I thought Ashley Young. I'll be honest, as much as I love a good old rough challenge, I feel like when you're on a yellow card very early on, and especially the
His
first
age
yellow
as
card
well.
isn't the worst one, if you like. You can see the kind of temperature of the referee.
Yeah.
Calm yourself down. As one of the experienced guys in the team as well, you should just see that bit a little bit better. And I just felt like the ball wasn't even in that much of a dangerous position. Just a bit of composure was needed there.
Same player as well that he fouled Diaz. It was
Yeah.
a mismatch. You
Yeah.
can see it was a bit of a mismatch. Ashley Young has been great his whole career, lad. He's been a solid player. But when you're coming against Diaz, who's playing the way he is at the moment, electric, lad, and then you've got an aging defender against him, it's a proper mismatch.
Yeah,
lad.
and he lures him
that
in.
yard of pace.
If you're Klopp or Diaz, you're saying as soon as Young gets that first yellow, target
Yellow.
him.
Every
It
single
shouldn't
time,
take
yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Lure him in and then
And-
get past him, and that's what he did.
And that's where I feel like your experience just has to show. Just to show a cool head, call
Yeah.
for some protection if you like, but just kind of manage the game a little bit better, because then it becomes 70 odd minutes with 10 men. And as you said, defended well, and with 11 maybe could they have done a little bit better on the counter and things like that, because there was one or two kind of long balls that you thought, ooh.
Yeah.
I remember there was one where Calvert-Lewin almost chested it in, and you thought, ooh, if the touch was a little bit better, could they have got a little something out of the game? But that's the fine margins in the Premier League, innit?
We got a good few shots from out the box, though. I was happy with some of the strikes today. Some of them rocket shots, lad, from out the box. Jordan Pickford did well to save a few of them, but we done all right today, lad. I'm just happy that Liverpool finally got another win for the 12:30 kick-off. I think that's two
in a row
8
now. And the next one is Man
So-
City after the next international break at the Etihad.
Which is just
But it's Wolves and Everton are the latest two wins in that 12:30 series. Nice goal, second one from Salah. It was, again, I hate to sound like Mystic Meg, but
How many
I
goals,
did
lad?
think that they would try and press, or they were forced to. They weren't going to leave 1-0. They had to try and get something, and then we just break away. Calm, composed finish from Salah as well.
yeah.
Really good. Sends Pickford kind of the
How many
wrong
goals
way.
is that, by the way, lads? I think it's 11 in 9 now, is it? 11 goals in 9 games? Or 11 goal contributions, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
My 11 goal contributions in 9 games. Mo Salah is still right at the very, very top of the game, believe me. He is. And I know people are going to say penalties and that, but you've got to finish them, lad. And he does. So I think he's doing
And
phenomenal
there was
this season,
games
lad.
in last season where
I
he
know,
did miss
I
them,
know,
and
lad.
people were criticising him. So when he puts them away, give him his dues.
As well, the mental fortitude, bro. I'm sitting here watching that, and my heart is like bum, 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 bum. And I'm sitting in the studio chilling in the middle of London, lad, nowhere near the game. Imagine what them players feel like when they actually step up for them penalties.
That's why they get paid the big bucks,
Yeah,
my
it's
friend.
true, lad, it's true.
78% possession for Liverpool, 26 shots to 6 shots on target to 1, 12 corners to 4. When you look at the final result, if someone said with those stats that's a 2-0 game, you'd probably believe them.
Fair.
Massive win for Liverpool. I thought Harvey Elliott was great when he came on,
Yeah.
as he has been in every single game that he's come on so far this season.
There was one particular situation that I really loved from him. Ball was coming over the top, Everton on a counter-attack, 2 players around him, and just as the ball was coming, lad, he's dropped his shoulder this way and then took the touch the other way, sent the other 2 lads, and just recovered the possession for us, lad. And then he had that wonderful rocket shot which Fuad had seen as well, and thought it was Dominic Salahs away.
Yeah, literally.
He coming on, had a good cameo, lad. The whole team today picked themselves up after coming back from an international break, so Liverpool are happy with that, definitely. We got away with one with Kanate. We'll hold our hands up, definitely. But the game, I think we deserved it in the end. I really do.
I'd agree with the Kanate one, but do you think Fuad, it was strong management to almost get him off the pitch immediately after that for Matip?
I think it's just good game management, isn't it? I think you just need to kind of just see the game out at that point. Do you know what I mean? But no, that's good game management from
Sean Dyche got a yellow for that, because when he brought him off, he was like, he's even bringing him off because he knows he got away with it, lad. Which is fair, lad. If I was Sean Dyche and the Everton players, I'd be having a look.
I'd be fuming as well.
And Sean Dyche in his press conference after, I'm sure he'll be mentioning that. I mean, again, when it comes down to it probably is a second yellow card, but it is what it is. Everton go away with a nil point once again from Anfield. 1 win in 29 now. It's just silly, isn't it, in terms of the
dominance
balance in that derby? Well, it's unbalanced.
They've
isn't
only
it?
beat us in 51 games, 4 times in 51 games, lad. Everton.
It's the most lopsided
That's
game.
mad.
Isn't
Also,
it? It's
the
not even
game with
fair
the
at this
most
point.
red cards in the Premier League ever, 29.
That's
Yeah.
as well, yeah.
I mean, it's been going on for a long
With
time.
Everton, I think, picking up about 17
Yeah.
of the last ones, I think
Yeah.
it was.
Liverpool and Everton have played for ages, lad. It's never been out of the top flight, so it's
Yeah.
going to be
It's
like there's going
impressive.
to be more goals, there's going to be more red cards, all of that.
Yeah, but listen, there you go. Liverpool 2, Everton 0 is the final score from Anfield in the 12:30 game. What a result that is. If you're a Liverpool fan, let us know in the comments how you're feeling right now. Let's jump into the 3 o'clock kickoffs, as we normally do on the Saturday Football Show. Bournemouth at home to Wolves today, the Gary O'Neill derby. In goal for Bournemouth, Neto, Aarons, Zabani, Kelly and Kirkes at the back 5 for Bournemouth, with Scott and Cook in midfield with Tavernier, Billing, Brooks and Solanke. And then for Wolves, it's Jose Sarr in goal, Kilman, Dawson, Gomez, Doherty at right wing back with João Gomez and Traore in the middle, at 8 Nuri at left wing back, with the man in form, 5 assists so far this season for Pedro Neto, with Mateus Cunha and Hwang Hee-chan also up front for Wolves. Can I get your score predictions, please, for this one, boys?
That's a tough one. I feel like Wolves have almost been like the unlucky side. I feel like they should have had a few better results. And Bournemouth, for me, have been the underwhelming team. I expected kind of better from them going into this season, but they've been really underwhelming in a lot of the games. Wolves are away, right?
Yeah.
I think I might go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw
Yeah.
at the Vitality.
I see something like that as well. Actually, Wolves in the last few games have definitely picked up. They've definitely got better, but it's at the Molineux. They beat City, right?
Yeah.
They give Liverpool a very tough game there as well. So at home, they're a different side, but away, can't see them.
And a lot depends on that front line. I think they've got quality in that front line. I just don't know how many goals they've got in terms of Cunha. I know his dribbling ability, the way he drives the ball out of the pitch, good
Finishing
technically, but finishing. Hwang, the same. He can pop up here and there with goals, but can you rely on him consistently? Neto, I think, is quality in his. This season, almost using it as to remind everyone how good he is and putting himself back on the market. If you're like, listen, Jota, Neves, Moutinho, everyone's left. I'm the last man standing. Don't forget me.
I could see him as a Liverpool player as well, you know.
Listen,
as you just said that, I genuinely could see him on the wing for Liverpool, lad. He's that type of player, industrious, hard work,
Direct as
quality, very direct, lad. I like Pedro Neto.
I think
when he played against
you
Liverpool,
ask
lad,
any team in the top 6, they would have it.
yeah.
He ruined Joe Gomez in the
He
first half,
nutmegged
didn't he?
them, smoked him, lad. It was, I'm not gonna swear, it was terrible what happened to Joe Gomez, poor lad. But second half he was quiet, but the first half, lad, he looked like Messi. He genuinely did, lad. He was
Yeah, he's
unbelievable.
very good. Score prediction, I'm going 2-1 Wolves.
I'll say 1-1 with Fuad.
Away win I'm going for there. Brentford versus Burnley. I actually saw a couple Burnley fans in and around London this morning. Brentford at home, of course. They go with Flecken in goal, Aya, Collins, Pinnock and Onyeka. Jensen, Norgard and Janelt in the midfield with Mbeumo, Wissa. And the return to the starting lineup for Brentford, Neil Maupay. Returns.
Oh my god.
Tease us there.
He is, he's the troll of the Premier League, I mean,
Yeah,
lad.
of course. Right, for Burnley, who desperately need some points right now for sure. Trafford in goal, Roberts, Al-Dakhil, O'Shea and Taylor at the back, with Burge, Cullen, Trezor, Amdouni, Odeber, who's I've liked the look of so far, and Lyle Foster up front for Burnley. Score predictions for that one there. I mean, if you look at where Burnley are in the table, it's 18th. It's not very good at all. But Brentford have been struggling themselves. They're in 15th. So it's a big game this one.
But the quality that Brentford, like that Jensen player, lad, he's a brilliant little footballer, and they've got quality all over the pitch. Thomas Frank knows how to play against teams like this as well. Burnley are not Burnley of old. We all know that, right? We've been watching them for the last 8 games and last season. They're very expansive. So for a team like Brentford to play against them, they're going to get chances, lad. And the only reason, in my opinion, why they're sort of dropping off is because they've, when it's a victim of your own success when you achieve really high standards
In back-to-back seasons as
and
well.
then you've got your star striker taken away from you as well, who scores all your goals. They're gonna be stepping off a little bit, but I don't think they should be worried. Come January, they'll get them back and it'll be sound.
Yeah.
But these type of games, I think they can get over the line, especially at home, lad. It's their ground.
I worry that they haven't really been picking up the results lately. The goals have kind of dried up a little bit from Mbeumo, and you just start to think, if Tony does come back, there's transfer talks. If he maybe fitness-wise doesn't hit the ground running straight away? Could that kind of be an underlying issue that kind of begins to build? I feel like this game is really important for both of them, to be fair. I think Burnley as well need a win desperately at some point. And as annoying as it sounds, I think both teams cannot afford a draw. But I'd tip Brentford just a little bit,
If
just
they
ahead
lose
of
this type of game, then they're worried. Like, what's going on with that
Worry
team?
sets in.
I'll be really impressed with Burnley if they come out of this with a win.
I'll go 2-0 Brentford.
Same. I reckon.
I'll go 1-0 Brentford.
2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
Remember, if you're just joining us, there's over 2,000 of you right now. Smash that like button. Let's get that straight up to 1,000 as soon as we can. Please keep hitting us up
That
in the
table
comments
looks
and
crazy,
subscribe
innit?
to the channel if you haven't already, as Liverpool, Tottenham and Arsenal all on 20 points, sitting at the top of the Premier League right now. Liverpool ahead on goal difference, 1 up on those two North London teams. The next lineup we have for you is from the Etihad. Manchester City play Brighton. This will be a great
Big game.
Ortega in goal for Man City. No Edison for Man City. Ortega, Moreno is in goal.
Do you know, quick one, do you know where Ortega's from?
No. It's not going to be a mad country.
I just wanted to
Go. Where is
No,
it?
don't
have a
tell
guess.
us,
Have a
lads.
guess. Have a
Is it
guess.
South American?
No.
Nope.
Ortega
Have a guess where
Moreno.
Scotland?
Ortega's from.
Is he from
No.
Scotland or something mad?
No. He's German.
He's German.
He's German, and then I think Spanish as well.
With the most Hispanic name of all
Bro.
time. Love that.
Jagielka, lads. Jagielka was an Englishman,
mate,
lad, you know what I mean?
I was just playing Football Manager last night, the new one, and I just thought, German? I said, hold on.
Edison, I'm just seeing if he's on the bench. He is on the bench. Obviously a long travel back from Brazil duty. Kyle Walker-Stones, Akanji and Vardy at the back. Bernardo Silva and Rodri is back now for Manchester City with Foden, Alvarez, Doku and Erling Haaland. Not bad front four that. And then on the bench, Ruben Diaz, Calvin Phillips, Ake, Kovacic, Grealish, Nunes, Edison, Rico Lewis. It's not bad. But Brighton, what can they do at the Etihad today? They're confident as they always are. Stealing goal. James Milner playing right back today.
What a man. What a human being
Made
he is,
his
lad.
Premier League
Premier League
debut
servant.
over 21 years ago, soon to be 22. Unbelievable servant to the Premier League, James Milner. Lewis Dunk with Dos Santos and March at the back. Balaba, Pascal Gross, Adingra, Welbeck, Mitoma and João Pedro up front for the Seagulls. Again on the bench for themselves. Ansu Fati, Evan Ferguson, Adam Lallana, Billy Gilmore, Dahoud, Webster. Strong bench for the Seagulls for sure.
Mitoma
Is
just
there going
signed
to be an upset here, boys?
Mitoma
just signed the new deal as
He
well,
did?
so I'm expecting a big, announcement
Yeah,
performance
I
type
want to.
against Man City as well. Perfect kind of platform, I feel like, to kind of put on a show. But I'm expecting this to be a really exciting game, to be fair. This is what I meant by, like, we've got an action-packed field. You got the Merseyside derby, you get this game, and then you get the London derby later on, if you like. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, definitely. I think there's going to be goals.
So do I, but I also know that when we played Brighton at their ground, we could have had them. We really could have had them, lad. It was definitely a fair result for it to be 2 in the end, but we got a chance to make it 3-1. We didn't take it. City, they take their chances, lad. They get one, it goes in. So if Brighton play like that, I do pip City to win. And it's at the Etihad as well, lad. They are a phenomenal team. Just because they've lost 2 in a row doesn't mean they're going to drop again. So as much as I want them to, all Arsenal fans in Liverpool, we all want them to lose. I don't think it'll happen today. I think it'll be like a 4-2, that type of result. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
Nice. You
I
know
like
what I mean?
that.
I'm going 3-1 City.
City.
There's a big part of me that does want to chuck in a little surprise result.
Yeah.
You want to say a 2-1 Brighton, innit?
Quite a big part. But I'll go 2-1 City, just in case. They are my last man standing this week as well, so shout out to them.
Ooh, that's a big gamble.
Newcastle, it is, to be fair, but he who dares wins, my friend. Newcastle versus Crystal Palace at St James's Park. The big news in this one, guys, is Tonali benched. Doesn't start, but he's in the squad today amidst his gambling addiction issues, which we will have a little segment to talk about later on. Nick Pope in goal. Trippier, Lascelles, the captain of the club, actually starts this one again as Botman is still out. Shah and Burner also at the back. Sean Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes, Joelinton, Murphy, Wilson and Gordon. And then on the bench, you're looking at the likes of Isaac, Tonali, Almiron, Lewis Hall there as well, Livramento, So a good few big names on the bench there. Sam Johnston in goal for the away team. Joel Ward, Anderson, Guehi, Mitchell, Lerma, Decore and Will Hughes in the middle. Jordan Ayew, Mateta and Eduard up front for Palace. How do we think this game goes?
Palace have kept the most clean sheets this season, haven't they? So defensively, they've actually been really
Just
good.
got a new contract, Sam Johnston.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Joachim Anderson's been good as well, even chipping in with a few going the other way. But no, I'm expecting that to be a tight game, to be fair. I think Newcastle, they're going to feel the Tonali miss. He's been kind of important to their midfield and kind of adding a layer to their attack from midfield. I think that Willock was adding last year, but maybe with a bit more quality. But big miss. I don't know what way this one could go, to be fair. I don't know.
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
It's a difficult one. Coming off the back of international breaks and coming off the back of Europe, those fixtures can always throw a hiccup. And I just feel like so far it's all going same. I think this might be the one where there's a little bit of a surprise and maybe Palace sneak something.
I reckon like a 1-1 me.
1-1.
Newcastle are not used to playing the mini games as they are. Also, like what you just said with the international break and all that. And then the missing players now, like Tonali, he was a phenomenal player.
Even Botman.
Yeah,
Botman with Lascelles coming in, I'm sorry, that's a huge kind of gap in quality in my opinion.
Mind you,
Lascelles did play well that game when he came back. He played very well.
Kept Mbappe quiet.
Uncomfortable conversations.
Very uncomfortable.
The way you just threw that. I feel like I can't even say anything after that now. It's like,
because he did, but it's Mbappe.
Hey,
still.
listen, we know Edson Odward might be able to turn him into a pretzel today, so you never know. It can go either way, but all I'm saying is that as you said, there's players missing, so I don't know. It could be a funny one for Newcastle.
I agree, but it is their home ground, and we all know what their supporters like as well. They are phenomenal, their fans, lads. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it's at
I thought
home.
it was at Selhurst.
At Selhurst, it's a different story, lad.
Okay.
But it is difficult.
I'll go 3-1
Wall flags.
Geordies.
I'm going to change my mind as well. I'm going to go 2-1 Geordies.
Yeah, I think the wall flags is on it for me. 2-1.
Especially got Isaac to come on as well, lad.
Yeah.
Half time or so, 60th minute. Fantastic football.
Bit of a relegation scrap, this one. Actually, it's a bit unfair to Nottingham Forest. They are in 13th, but they're at home today to Luton. Matt Turner in goal, Serge Aurier, Willy Bolly, Santiago Costa in the defence with Toffolo, who again is himself embroiled in some betting scandals at the minute. Sangare, Mangala and Dominguez in the midfield with Morgan Gibbs-White, Chris Wood and Anthony Elanga up front for Forest. For Luton, it's Kaminski in goal with Burke, Lockyer, Mengi and Doty at the back. Chong and Panzu, Nakamba, Ogbene, Brown and Morris up front for the Hatters.
Awani today for Forest?
No, he is not in the squad today.
Old Liverpool player, him, you know. He used to play for Liverpool, him, lads.
Yeah. Before he went to uni,
Awani in the squad. Score prediction, because if Luton win this, they go above Everton.
Luton won't win.
No.
Let's just all cut the cap, lad, yeah. I like Luton, I like what you have done. Good on you for getting the Premier League, but honestly, the performances haven't shown enough quality for me yet to say that you're going to stay in the Premier League, and this is one of them where I just feel like they're going to be not good enough again, lad. I really do. Forest have been good, bro. They're 13th. They've come out the gates. They are, when they play and they get going, lad, they're like electric. They've got loads of passion, energy, which is why actually Awoni being missing is a big thing for them, because he's a target, man.
But the weird thing Forest have is strength and depth.
Yeah.
Even for kind of like a mid-table relegation side, they actually do have strength and depth. So
they bought that many players, lads.
Yeah, I expect this to be the kind of game where they really let the teams in and around them know, look, this is why we've spent the money and why we're better. And in all honesty, I look at their squad and I'm like, you shouldn't be a team that's competing for relegation spots. You should be comfortably mid-table, 10th, 11th, 12th, in my opinion. So this for me should be, especially at the City Ground, is it? Yeah. That is an atmosphere. That was what kept them in the Premier League, I felt, last year. I think this will be a formula win, if you like.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah. It's straightforward. Sorry, Luton. No disrespect.
2-0. 2-0, I'll go with that one.
Wrong, sorry,
yeah. I know they're missing Awani, but front line of Elanga, you said?
Chris Wood and Morgan Gibbs-White.
That's still enough for me. I think
enough to beat Luton.
It is, yeah. It is.
At home.
Yeah,
Come on. There are all of our score predictions for the 3 o'clock kickoffs. We will do a bit more of an in-depth preview to Chelsea versus Arsenal, which we do have the stream for straight after this. So don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
Today on the Saturday Football Show, we did film something quite extraordinary last night here on DR Sports. It's coming out, I believe, next Thursday. It's basically a nod to the fact that it is Halloween. I hate Halloween. I'm going to be really honest with you. So the thought of going to a haunted maze in the middle of Leighton Buzzard really did not interest me, but contractually I had to go. Here's a little clip of what you can expect to see on Thursday. I don't know if I want to see this.
Is that your heartbeat? I swear to God.
Don't you just love how all the AGT bits are squeezed together?
Yeah.
Shout out to Matisse as well, who's in the comments. I was screaming like a little girl. I swear. It wasn't great.
I'm telling you, Thriller.
Thriller,
I'm telling you.
Honestly, that's what they were doing. At one point, this clown came right up to my face. Like, his nose was all mashed up. The makeup was incredible. Like, he had braces. He was only young for a clown. And he's obviously an actor. He's right up in my face. I was saying, what formation should we play tomorrow? 4-3-3, 4-2-4. And then he scared Cecil for a bit because Cecil is massively afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
He came back to me and
I
went,
saw that in his
4-2-4.
story, yeah.
And I was like, fair play, he knows his football. But yeah, I was not. I was top cat in the comments, shook guy. Bro,
Hey.
I dare any of you to go through what this guy and this guy,
Hey.
you both would have been hacking it. Don't try and act the hard man here.
Hey, listen.
No,
Real men don't shake.
I would have been Gilly in front of me, lad, as a human shield, just
Bruv.
walking through like that, lad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was in a lot of it.
I would have suplexed
To be fair, no, you can't. You can't touch
Lad,
that.
I'm telling you, do you know who got suplex, lad? Poor Abby, because of him, lad. Body
There is
and
another
Abby, lad.
clip which hasn't come out yet where
Abby.
someone's jumped out. Abby's in front of me. Bosh, out the way. I'm getting straight out.
I need this video to drop now.
It's like in a car crash or something, the poor head's like backwards.
Literally,
like,
I think I get past Cecil and Abby in one movement like that.
No.
right down the
It
line.
was good defending. To be fair, the person who won that was definitely Matisse. He was having full-on conversations with them as they were trying to scare him. It was.
How long you been
yeah.
scared?
Oh, Matisse got balls of steel like that.
Yeah, no, he
Six
came
foot.
out on top.
Supports Chelsea
Okay.
okay.
Came out
last
on top.
season, lad. He's not scared
Exactly.
of nothing, lad.
He's been to the depths of being scared by his team.
His soul is
There
dead.
were 4 clowns that walked past, and I went, "Oh look, it's Chelsea's back 4." he didn't like that. He really did not like that. But I'm not going to spoil it anymore.
That's good. I can't lie.
Phenomenal body. That's brilliant.
I'm not going to spoil it anymore because, as I said, this comes out on a Thursday, this one. So you're going to have to wait until then. But trust me, when it comes out, it's going to be worth it. I actually can't wait to see it myself. It's to come. Right, it's 2:59. It's a Saturday. What does that mean, boys?
Premier League football. That's
It's
what
right,
it
Joy.
means,
What does
I
that mean, Fuad?
3 o'clock kickoff.
Let's go! We've kicked off all around the country, up and down the leagues in the Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, and all across Europe. We'll have it all updates as they come in for you. Remember to, if you've just joined us, go back and smash that like button. Over 2,500 of you watching right now. Please, we might even, should we say if we get this to 1,000 likes, production, we can show the clip of me running away from the clowns? I'll ask them.
You
We'll
wanna
see.
see it, believe
But
it.
if you want to see that clip, forget 1,000 likes. I want 1,500 likes by the second half. I want 1,500 likes. Then we might just drop that extra teaser.
We
We
will
might just
love
play
it.
the same
And
one
I
again.
think we deserve it.
Might just play the same one again to trick you all. No, but seriously, like the video and get it up to 1,500 if you can, ASAP. Right, boys, the games have kicked off. And of course, we always do this at the start of every Saturday football show. Give me the minute and the surname of the first goal scorer in all the 3 o'clock kickoffs today in the Premier League. Mystic Meg time, boys. Play along at home. Send them into the comments now. I'm going for... Ooh, who have we got? I'll go... I was going to go rogue and say Morgan Gibbs White, but I'm going to stick to something more
Of
conventional.
course, lad. Don't be stupid.
Nah, you know me, I like to be a bit edgy.
There's only one man that you should be picking right now.
Yeah,
It's
but I
one
don't want to
human
just say
being.
Haaland after 4 minutes.
Why not,
It's
lads?
boring. Because I want something else to happen. I'm trying to manifest something else this week.
Okay, you go and you do it.
I'll go
Dominic
Callum
Solanke.
Wilson, 11 minutes. Let us know in the comments. We've got a Haaland 17 minutes. We've got 8 minutes and Buemo.
Haaland
8 minutes. 6th minute Doku.
Yeah.
I was just about to say Jeremy Doku, 7 minutes.
7.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
7.
I had a little weird thing, right? I'm not picking this person, but I did have a thing in my brain when I thought Dan Burns going to score. Don't know why. But Dan Burns in my head, lad. So I'm going to put that as my secondary one, but Haaland 6 minute. But Dan Burns will score,
you're
lad.
pathetic.
That'll be 2 and 3 for him.
Secondary one, lad.
Matoma 12 minutes, says Douglas. Haaland 5 minutes. Maguire 5th minute. They're not even playing till 8 o'clock. Everton 1-0 up, says D2 Trippy. No, unfortunately they lost again in the Merseyside derby, and they could well be going down. We have in the show though got Liverpool 0 Everton 1, so that will need to change as soon as possible. Whoever's in the production, whoever that was, you're getting sacked. Can't be having that. The game's over. João Pedro, we've got a Neto 15th minute, we've got Alvarez 17 minutes, March 11 minutes, Gordon 12 minutes. Who will that guy be today on the Saturday Football Show?
It's a great question. I love that question.
It's a good one, isn't it? It's a good one. Liverpool top of the league, says Craig. People calling Liverpool is just dumb, says Noel. Onana own goal after 10 minutes again. Manchester United don't play until 8 o'clock tonight against Sheffield United, I believe.
Lad, yeah. Away as well, like.
Absolutely. Right, let's go around the grounds and around the stadiums and around the leagues in the English football pyramid. Still 0-0 in all of the games so far in the Premier League, but don't forget there are still some big games in the Championship today and in League One as well. We'll also keep a small eye on the National League for you as well. I know my dad's watching today. Shout out to Yeovil. They've got a game away at Woking today.
Leicester playing today.
Leicester, let's have a look. They must be. All the Championship games kind of kick off on a Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Instant return?
Say again?
Instant return for Leicester?
It looks like it, the way they're playing at the moment, lad. They're blowing everyone away. Jamie Vardy looks boss again, lad.
Away at Swansea today, Doyle, at 3 o'clock.
You know what? That's just another feather in the Jamie Vardy folklore, isn't it? Of just bringing Leicester back to the Premier League. And
his missus is a glass.
And then as his that's unfortunate. Like, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. But in the Championship today, we had an early kick-off, and that was Preston against Millwall. There are rumours, by the way, of Neil Warnock coming out of retirement again to manage Millwall, who have just let go of their manager Gary Rowett. I would love to see that. I can't lie. There's a famous Neil Warnock clip that's done the rounds on social media where he's on the pitch at Millwall with Sheffield United, slagging off the Millwall players. So nice little reunion there if it happens. Blackburn are currently playing Cardiff. It's 0-0 there. Bristol City at Coventry. Huddersfield QPR. QPR massively in need of some joy at Loftus Road. Really poor this season.
Lad. You remember last season?
They were close at the start.
Through the season, flying, lad. Lost the manager.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't a manager ditch them?
Yeah. Plummeted, lad.
We still need to fix that score if possible in the production suite there.
He's
still
not
says we lost 1-0 to Everton. People in the comments are not liking that. Middlesbrough playing at home to Birmingham. Wayne Rooney's first game as a manager for the Blues, away to Borough. That's a tough place to go to. Norwich at Leeds, at home to Leeds, I should say.
Hey, man.
Probably a Premier League game, that, really.
I respect Rooney grinding it out, man.
Yeah, he's bossy.
DC United,
10K hours.
Derby County, and like what he was doing at Derby County as well, like paying the players' wages and looking out above and beyond. Bro,
did you see what he said to the fans and that? He went outside the training ground and was like, "We're gonna get this club back. Don't worry, I'm here to help you."
He is going about his like management path. I really respect it, and I don't care if he becomes a title-winning manager or anything like that, but I just hope you
like the ladder.
Yes,
doing it right, isn't he?
Sometimes I feel like people use their playing career or use their links or whatever to and don't get it twisted. Yeah, that's how we got the Derby job and the DC job.
Course,
but it's a case of what do you do when you're there. Now at Birmingham, I hope he does well.
He doesn't mind humbling himself.
Yes,
he doesn't mind it, and that's the sign of somebody that actually wants to learn, lad.
Facts.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
did you see what he said about the all? I know it's stupid. I don't want to talk about it much. But about the things with the wives, and he wants to learn law.
He wants to learn law, yeah. Do you know what, though? I believe you might have seen Kim Kardashian posting about she just graduated her law, and he was like, hold on. If she can fucking do it, so can I.
Well, with me big head.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, I am.
Stoke at home to Sunderland today. Swansea, Leicester, Watford, Sheffield Wednesday, and West Brom are playing Plymouth at home in the Championship. There has been an early goal in the Championship. Norwich 1, Leeds 0. Shane Duffy, who actually did used to play for Yeovil, now plays for Norwich. He scores after 4 minutes in the Championship. Decent start here for Brighton as well, we're hearing. Over at the Etihad, they have started the game fairly impressively. They've got a free kick here. Let's see if they can whip it into the box, but they go back with it. But Man City will know all about the dangers that Brighton carry. I mean, I wouldn't even say the Man City players themselves are thinking that this will be as easy as maybe Pep is telling them.
This is not an easy game. Brighton have been a formidable side since last season, without a shadow of doubt. In fact, not even that. They've built themselves up perfectly. This is the model that the other clubs want to look at when they're coming up from the Championship. Teams like Nottingham Forest. Look at what Brighton have done. They humbled themselves, they worked their way up, and they created a philosophy in the club. And nobody thinks that Brighton's an easy game anymore. And if you do, more fool you, because they'll come at you, mate. And Man City will be approaching this game with caution, without a doubt. But we've got to be real. That Man City team does have the quality there to just finish anybody. That doesn't matter who it is. So if Man City decide we're going to win today, they'll win. It doesn't matter if it's Liverpool, Arsenal, whoever, they'll win. So it's one of them, lads. If it was at the Amex, I'd pip Brighton,
But it's not.
And Rodri's back as well now, lads. And we know how pivotal he is to their game.
Absolutely, yeah. Brighton in their changed black and green strip. Are we a fan of that?
I was going to say, I'm really not a fan of it, man. This season, I feel like there have been a few hit and misses with some of the kits, man.
This one is definitely one of the worst
Sometimes
ones.
maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
What is the best kit this season then, lads? I've got a really controversial one that I hate that I like it.
Do you know,
I'm United.
No.
Arsenal.
Chelsea. Look at that kit, lad. That's a nice looking kit, bro. It's just standard.
Not for me.
I like standard kits.
Do you know what it is? I like the glossy logo with the greenish kind of effect. I hear it. And this is what I'm saying. I feel like there actually have been a lot of good kits this year. Even you lost one, kind of going back to the simplicity.
There's been a goal in the Premier League, and it's gone to Newcastle.
Jacob
1-0
Murphy
at home to Crystal Palace.
Jacob Murphy, lads.
What did I say? Callum Wilson 11 minutes. Jacob Murphy after 4 minutes. What a start that is for the Geordies as they go into another Champions League week against Borussia Dortmund. The big games come thick and fast for the Geordies, but after 4 minutes, in 5 minutes, Jacob Murphy has put the Geordies in front.
Ever since they've been bought, right, I'm happy for Newcastle in a way, but I'm not the biggest fan anymore because of the way they're going about it, you know what I mean? So, but I really like to see players like Jacob Murphy get
still
a goal.
around.
Yeah, because lad, he deserves it. He's again an industrious player, not the best quality in the world, but he deserves to be up there with them top lads in that Newcastle team. And
I always say,
I'm really happy for them type of lads.
No matter what team you are, no matter how
long staffs and that, you know what I mean?
You've got to have those types of players. I feel like those selfless, I call them, like the ones you can't have a team full of Galacticos, superstars. No one's going to want to do the dirty work. No one's going to be patient enough to sit on the bench. Someone like a Murphy is happy to.
And let's look at his goal, Fuad. Talk to me about this goal.
Oh my lord, yeah.
It's a great finish.
Fabian
Whether
Schär
he meant it or not,
a lovely pass. First time into him. And listen, he'll say he meant it.
Yeah.
But first time pass into Trippier, which, to be fair, the two passes before him impressed me even more. Yeah. Everybody's pretty much taken one touch for the goal.
How many assists has Trippier got now? I'm not joking.
Listen, I'll give it to him, but I think he meant that bar back post to Wilson. But
he put it in the area, lads.
As Ronaldinho did in 200002, I definitely meant that, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God! Great chance for Palace to equalise through Will Hughes, and it's a great start for Newcastle and a good goal. There has been a goal at the Etihad, and it's not who you think it would be. But even after the early Brighton pressure, it's Julian Alvarez who has scored the first goal for Man City 7 minutes in. I'm pretty sure someone said that in the chat.
I was so close.
I said 7
I'm
minutes.
pretty sure someone said 7 minutes. But yeah, you did.
Do you know what? We've got to start putting respect on it. Oh my God, the cameraman took a lick on his face then. Did anyone just... Oh my Lord.
I didn't see that.
Oh my God.
Doku taking his head off.
We've got to start putting respect on Julian Alvarez.
He's got it already.
Because everyone just looks at Alvarez, at Haaland, but he just keeps popping up, lad. He's like, remember me, lad. Remember me. And scores screamers as well. They're not little crappy goals, lad. scores belters like.
I've said when in terms of like ball striking and hitting the ball
Clean.
and the variation of finishes he gives, he's one of the best in the Premier League in my opinion, honestly.
And let's be honest, right? Playing on that Argentinian team next to Messi, that's going to help his game so much, lad. It really will.
For me, the biggest testament I can always say to him is just look at that World Cup campaign. Started it on the bench, and by the end of it was one of the most important players in the team because of the impact he was having. Every single minute he played, he made it count. And he showed that last year in moments throughout the season. But then this year, the way he started it, he said, all right, I'm going to get minutes in the starting lineup. Watch me capitalize on this. You're seeing him in multiple games he's actually turned up.
How old is he?
20, 21, in and around there. I believe.
Almost completed.
And
Talk to me about the goal though, boys.
And when you talk about fees for 14 million, Jeremy Doku just going on the left, easy as you like, weaving past players as he does, almost like he's teaching tango lessons on the wing, and then just slides it into Julian Alvarez for an easy finish.
Yeah, no, it was a
this is the kind of
scrappy finish. He hits it into the floor and it kind of bounces over the keeper, but Man City won't care at all.
Also made the
this is the kind of, I feel like this is the kind of dynamic or dynamism Pep wanted to introduce to the team this year. I feel like last year it was very much kind of zip, you know, playing triangles, and you felt like their counter-attack was actually a little bit different last year, but Doku and Alvarez this season seem to add just this
Doku's not a
moment
player,
of, you know what, we can switch it from patient build-up to 100 miles an hour, let's go.
Yeah. He doesn't remind me of a traditional Pep player, Doku, at all, lad. He's very direct. He doesn't necessarily look for the pass immediately, lad. He's always looking, I want to get the man, I want to be the man.
Like a Sane.
Yeah, like a Sane, lad.
Sane a few years ago, I remember that was kind of like the last direct winger they had like that. Sterling, Mahrez, they've all been kind of inverted wingers, if you like.
Into the floor.
Yeah. Weaker foot finish as well from Alvarez.
Spins into the goal. It's a goal for City, and it is 1-0. Great start for them. Let's jump into a couple of super chats that you guys have been sending in. One is a rugby prediction. We don't do rugby on this channel, but thank you for the super chat.
What's rugby, lad?
The hand
Capricorn
egg.
to enter
Eggs.
Uranus, says Mystic Meg. Shout out to Mystic Meg. All the best. Take care. Gracie says, LFC fan, Konate should have been sent off.
Fair.
Salah, unbelievable as usual. When are people going to stop the Salah Hazard debates? I feel at this point it's offensive to compare the two. Salah is miles clear.
Please listen, and I know this man. You like Pram Hazard. I get it. I know you do. Was it you? It might have been.
Well, Leah said it.
Anyway, this conversation. Right,
this week I was getting abused for praising Salah too highly, and almost I put him on the same scale of Neymar.
I do, bro. Yeah, Neymar, right? Neymar passes that eye test. The eye test. That's what Neymar, I said, yeah. Every bloody day. Wow, what a beautiful player to watch. But we're talking about career, effect on the game and career. Yeah. It's Mo Salah every single day. He's got 11 goal contributions in 9 games this season as a 31-year-old lad. He's been consistent. He's won everything. That man is an ultimate professional, and he's a fantastic human being as well. Honestly, when he finishes his career and when Liverpool lose him, we will be desperate for another player like him. Yeah. Do you know, since 2017, lad, he's contributed towards Liverpool's goals, yeah? Do you know what the percentage is?
41%.
41% for one player since 2017 to have goal contributions for one team like Liverpool, lad.
And he's a winger.
That's mad.
Just by the way.
Mad.
I think for me as well, it's just a testament to his application, because if you look at
never injured as well,
what 18, 19, 20-year-old Salah, maybe when he was at Basel, if some people remember, who would have seen him at this level? And that's my thing for me. It's always a case of, you can have all of that ability, you can have the eye test and all of this, but are you going to maximize it completely? And I feel like Salah has squeezed every last juice out of his ability. Yeah. And he's hit those levels, and he's continued to do it, in my opinion. So, and listen, also, and that's not to discredit Neymar. I think Neymar's one of the best in his generation. Agreed. But it's a case of, I just feel like in terms of application, that's the thing I appreciate personally the most. Salah's one of those you can't deny. He has applied himself to the maximum.
Ultimate professional. I have so much respect for that human being. It's unbelievable, lad. And not just because he plays for Liverpool, because of the man that he is, lad. He's phenomenal.
Where do you think he ranks right now in terms of Premier League greats? Is he firmly in the top 10,
I think he's in top 5.
What, wingers or all-time
players?
All-time. I think he's in top 5, lad. I really do. I think Thierry Henry, for me, is the best. And this is what I'm about to say. I think it's Thierry Henry.
Lampard.
I get it.
Like
Mo Salah, lad. Mo Salah has been doing it.
Vieira,
I
Roy
get it.
Keane.
I get it, lads.
Like I'm telling you, when I start naming them, Cristiano, like
this is 7
when
years
I start
now.
and I get it.
This
I
is
get it.
7 years
but
he's been
you're
doing
gonna
this.
have to start splitting hairs. Like I did a top
This
10
is
of the
it.
last decade list this
Yeah, I
past
saw.
week with the SES boys, and no matter who you pick, there's gonna be greats left off the list, and it's one of those you're gonna be splitting hairs and. It's subjective.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
very
would say it's subjective if you want to put him in top 10 or not or whatever. I just think in terms of like wingers that we've seen in the Premier League, I always look at personally Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest winger we've ever seen, and then I just look at his Salah, undisputed. Those are the top two for me. And then people will say, no, Hazard. And that's where the debate of the Hazards and the Salah comes in. People are like, no, if you see what Hazard will say. And in the Premier League, if you're not taking away Champions League, international football, what he did at Real Madrid, in the Premier League, I can hear their cases. But for me, it's just Salah, as I said.
Yeah.
Coming into that first season at Liverpool, breaking the record. Every single year since then, he's pretty much the barometer for the goal-scoring record, let's be honest.
How many golden boots? 5? Is it 5 golden boots?
Who?
Mo Salah?
No,
4
I
or
think
5?
it's 3.
Nah, I think it's 3.
2 or 3. You had to share one as well with Aubameyang and Mane.
Yeah,
his own team.
that was funny.
That was it.
I always laugh at those kind of
Oh, sorry.
One that's Matoma with a shot
Matoma.
on target. No other Premier League scores to update you with as of yet, but Barnet have now conceded at home to Maidenhead. They were 1-0 up in that game, but Huddersfield in the Championship 2-0 up against QPR at home in the first 15 minutes. It goes from bad to worse to even worse for QPR at the minute.
Just to go back to the Salah thing really quickly, yeah. Frank Sinatra once said, lad, it's not how good you do it, it's how long you do it good for, right? That's the difference between a cult hero and a legend of the game, lad. Someone that's consistent and does it throughout. And that's why a lot of people don't rate Virgil van Dijk as the best centre-back in the Premier League, because he's done it for 3 or 4 years. But when you look at Vidic, Ferdinand, Terry, they did it for 9, 10. And that's why Mo Salah also deserves to be put on that pedestal like them. But it is subjectional. It is. And I'll give everyone that.
Yeah.
If you like Gerrard's, Lampard's goals, everyone's going to put them in different
orders. And the
orders.
thing is, when you do all times as well, yeah, because every position is involved, it almost becomes like, oh,
it's too hard.
What? Yeah,
he's the best winger, though. I'll say he's the best winger in Premier League football, and I'll say the only reason why is because eventually Henry went into the middle. Henry, my friend.
There's been another goal.
Oh my
Another
God.
goal in the Gary O'Neill derby. Bournemouth versus Wolves. Who has scored that goal early on, Fuad?
Dominic Solanke, 17th minute.
You know what's the worst thing
Taking the
about that, yeah? When he was picking his player early, lad, and I was like, don't be stupid, lad. I was like, he's going to pick Dominic Solanke or something now.
Yeah.
And then look, lad, he scored.
3 goals in his last 5
He's done me
for Big
twice,
Dom.
bud. Bloody
Big
hell.
Dom. Yeah, 1-0 now to Bournemouth, which is maybe a little bit surprising. But there you go. Can they hold on? Still 0-0. 18 minutes gone now at the G-Tech between Brentford and Burnley. Still 1-0 to Manchester City. And it's now 2-0 to Bolton against Northampton at home after 16 minutes. Bolton Wanderers. First topic I wanted to speak about today, boys. Jadon Sancho. Now, we've heard this week that, well, the word from inside the club is that January is going to be looking like that is the period in which he leaves on loan. We're hearing that Bundesliga, Turkish clubs, Serie A clubs as well, all across Europe, are interested in taking Sancho. Only 23 still. We know he hasn't been involved in that first team since the social media outburst in September, which he still hasn't said sorry for, but we're now hearing that the situation is said to be irreparable. If you are him, and you're looking at these headlines and you're kind of understanding the consequences of you not apologising to, the boss, the manager, what do you do in this situation? Would you try and force a way out to maybe the Bundesliga again, where you had great success? No. Obviously at this point it will be a loan. We can't really see it being a permanent move in January. But if you're him, what would you do? If this is what we're believing is the truth.
If I'm him, honestly, you're saying me, I'm him, I'm apologise. I'm saying, listen, I was in the wrong. I spoke out of turn in a moment when, I thought I wasn't getting a fair shake or whatever, but that shouldn't be made public. Things like that should always be kept behind closed doors, and I apologise for making that public. And now you, the manager, have had to take a public stance on me because I put that statement out. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then what I would do is I would keep my mouth shut and I would work as hard as possible in training. I don't know if any of you have seen the Beckham Netflix documentary that has come out recently. When he was at Real Madrid, this is Beckham World Cup, Beckham Man United, Beckham Spice, Beckham Galactico. All Beckham's ego, it should be here. And at Fabio Capello said to him, I don't want you. You're at the club. You're training by yourself on the sideline. Every single day.
And that's the mentality.
Beckham turned up early to training, on time, and worked hard. And guess what? Fabio Capello said, I couldn't believe it. 2 months, 3 months, this guy was still turning up on time. That level of profession made me think, do you know what? There has to be something in this guy. He played him. He helped them win the title in the end. And that's the kind of attitude you should have. Jadon Sancho was chased by United for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
You was one of the big money signings and you have not delivered a single moment for United fans to remember you by. And what you're now going to leave on is the fact that, oh, Sancho got more chances than me. I'm sorry. Sorry, Anthony got more chances than me. Anthony is now going through whatever he's going through. He's on the sideline. You have an opportunity to break through, but instead you want to let your ego drive you out of the club. And now you're going to end up, on loan at Serie A, under Jose Mourinho or something, or on loan at Galatasaray teaming up with Zaha. That's not impressing nobody. You were on 300, 400k a week. You were meant to be a big money star signing for United. You've been nothing but underwhelming.
I agree with everything you said.
And I'm so sorry. In this situation, we love looking at managers and saying, how do they handle players and everything? Yeah. You've put this situation out like this. You've made it into what it is, and you have to take accountability. And you have to take responsibility of your own career at some point. I'm sorry. You can go and look at and try and find an escape route, but at some point you have to address the issues head on. And at Man United, I'm sorry, you have a big platform and a big opportunity to turn this around. Do not spurn it for the sake of your ego.
Also, it doesn't look great.
Great points there.
It doesn't look great when he's going to other clubs, lad, and he's behaving like this. As an adult, man, woman, doesn't matter who you are, you've got to sometimes look at your own behaviour and think, how is this going to affect my career and my whole image? And that's what he's basically done. He's tarnished it himself. Whereas, if he comes out, he admits his wrongs and he says what Fuad just said, and he says, I'm going to get down and I'm going to work hard. Even if it doesn't work out at United, you still have a better opportunity to make your career. And also, this could be an arc, right? We all know. Sometimes it happened with Salah. This is what happened with Salah. Sometimes when you get overlooked or you feel like you've done something wrong and you have to prove yourself again, we were talking about David Beckham, you come back with that fire, lad, and you want to win and you have that desire again. This might be good for him to be like, right, I've got to hold the L right now. We've got to do it. Mm-hmm. I agree with what you said, lad. It's true. He's just got to get down and work for it. And if it doesn't work out, at least he's admitted his wrongs. That's a big part. Because to be honest, you never know if Erik ten Hag's going to stay at United, right? It's a turbulent place, so you don't know. But still, get your head down. Like,
you're both saying apologise. By the way, there has been another goal for Man City. It is Erling Haaland. It was via a mistake from Bournemouth. It's a good finish at the near post, and City double their lead within 20 minutes. And Brighton, probably this could be a long afternoon for them now. But going back to Sancho, I've again reported in this situation that it's now irreparable. So has the time passed for him to apologise? And going back to what Fuad said, the Beckham thing, the fact that he, at the end of that situation, the other players were begging Capello to get him back. Yes. They were saying, look how hard he's working. I just can't see that happening at United. And I do agree with your point, which is, forget United right now. If you really want to still have a great career and prove people wrong and be that guy that's, overturn challenges in your career, apologise and still find yourself a decent home to ply your trade. But right now, I've seen he was in a club in London on Monday or Tuesday. Like, I'm clearly not a United fan, but I'm looking at him throwing his career away in front of our eyes. And as Fuad said, 2 years they wanted him. I mean, he's not doing himself any favours. But then again, has he got the right people around him to? Do you even need someone to tell you to apologise?
I'm sorry. After a certain point in adulthood, we got to stop doing this. Have you got the right people around you? There is a degree to it. You have to keep a support system around you. I imagine he does have that, but the problem is you can't use that as like a get out of clause for every scenario or every kind of bad situation you get into.
You choose your friends, bro. I choose 100%. My friends. Everybody gets to choose the people in their life, so that's still his decisions. That's
Yeah.
still his responsibility. The bad things that go on in our life are still our responsibility, and we've somehow made them happen still. That's life. That's reality.
What happens nowadays as well is a lot of players will go through these types of situations and think they can outlast the manager sometimes.
Yeah,
so if Ten
that's what I
Hag,
think.
you know, might get sacked, I don't know, if he goes on a bad run, gets knocked out of the Champions League, I'm still here. Guess what? New manager. But guess what? If that case does happen, Sancho's best case scenario, I'm going to outlast the manager. The new manager that comes in now, how do you think he's going to look at you?
You can be like, you haven't played football for a year, bro. Your attitude stinks. I'm not playing
Absolutely.
you.
And guess what? Now, let's say hypothetically that new manager does favour you. He throws you in straight away. You're not hitting the fire and you're not hitting the ground running.
Yeah.
Now the expectation and the pressure's there. Now it's like, oh, I need to go to the mountains for 2 months again. But Ten Hag gave you that.
Yeah.
And you threw it back.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, what? How do you deal with this type of situation? So for me, it's a case of he has to take accountability and either, all right, you know what? I took a massive L here at United. Let me go and start afresh somewhere else. Or I took a massive L here again at United, and I'm gonna figure it out and make sure and do it right.
Not
I agree.
petulance. Petulance is never the way,
it's
lads.
never gonna
Let us
sort
know
the
what you think
situation
about
out.
that one. Another update for you in the Premier League. Just go to the Championship first. Matt Grimes has scored for Swansea against Leicester. It's now 1-0 to the Swans, but Southampton have scored away at Hull through Will Smallbone. 2 big games there in the Championship. But in the Premier League, Brentford are now ahead thanks to Johan Wissa. They're 1-0 up at home to Burnley as Newcastle continue to try and get that second goal. City have their second goal, and now the only game in the Premier League right now without a goal is Nottingham Forest versus Luton Town in the Premier League. Let's
what we
just
like to see,
jump
innit? Goals
into
in the
another
Premier League,
super
lads.
chat that we saw here. Fuad shouldn't talk about football, period. Neymar being 9th in 10 years is a disgrace. Salah was nowhere near it between 2013 and 2017. That's a super
Yeah,
chat.
but
so
also
hopefully
Neymar's
that-
nowhere near it now in the opposite end of the scale, lad. He done it for that them years, and now Salah's doing it for these
true.
years. So it doesn't matter what year it is, lads.
Rob
Listen, it's
Stevens.
all a preference. Football is a
Yeah,
game
it's
of
all
opinions.
subjectional.
Of
I
course.
just think Salah's great. I really do.
Well, Rob agrees with you. He says Salah has a greater Premier League legacy than Ronaldo. For me, it isn't even a contest. It's the longevity in the Premier League as well. A lot of comments here on Sancho as well. Again, keep that coming. What do you think he should do? Do you think he moves on from Manchester United in the winter? Where does he go? And if you were him, what would you do? Me personally, just to round it all off, I'd get my nut down and shut up and let my feet do the
Apologise.
talking and move on.
promise
For the
you,
sake of
the
history,
under
yeah, not
23s are about to see the greatest campaign ever.
Yeah.
You best believe. I'm putting up 40 goals in the under 23s. Yeah. And then you're going to be wondering, well, why can't he break into the first team, man? Yeah. That's what you got to do, man.
Hold it. Ethan Mitchell with a super chat says opinions on where Alexis Sanchez does not get the credit he deserves. A baller for Arsenal. Granted, his United career was not great, but still up there. I think he had 2 really good years.
He was incredible.
Boss for
man.
Barca.
Arsenal,
Really good
Barca.
Arsenal, Barcelona,
Yeah.
even
Not
Udinese
Arsenal,
that
I mean.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
I've always liked Alexis. Alexis Sanchez was the type of attacker I like, where you have the technical ability, but he has that doggedness to
Inter
go with
Milan
it as
now
well.
as
Yeah.
well. Again.
Like,
And a strike on him as well. One of them proper rocket strikes that little players have.
Yeah.
You're on it. One of them ones.
And he can do the dinks. He can do all of that as well.
There was a goal for Barcelona
That's
that he
what I mean.
scored once, that was honestly so beautiful. And I know I seen your eyes light up when I said it. He goes to the right a little bit and he just dinks it over the keeper. And the
Bro.
keeper goes, bro.
that's what I mean. He just had technique, bro.
Yeah,
Like, he was
beautiful.
actually one of the few Arsenal players I actually liked.
Gorgeous, lad. He was brilliant.
Another goal in the Championship. Hull have scored again through Liam Delap. Remember his dad?
Yeah,
Rory?
Rory
Yeah.
his
Delap,
dad?
my friend. It is.
Mad with the
it
big
is.
mazzy throw on him, lads.
Yeah,
He
man.
was meant to be a big talent coming out of City's academy.
Yep.
They were
Is he?
saying like, he's going to be like one of the best young English strikers, if you like.
Did you ever hear the story about Pulisic and Rory Delap?
No.
Not Pulisic, sorry. What am I talking about?
I'm like, what?
The West Brom manager, what's his name?
Pulis.
Pulis.
Sorry, Pulisic.
No,
yeah,
what
Pulis, right. They were in training, lad, yeah. And he does this big, massive throw in training, lad. And he's like, bro, you've been at the club for 2 years and you've never told me you can throw a ball like that. Why? And he was like, just didn't think it would be important. And he's like, you're on every single throw-in forever now, lad. And he scored so
Even
many goals.
corners, you're going to throw them in.
Yeah, genuinely, lad.
Oh, just whistles past the post from Jeremy Doku, who's having a great start
I really
to life
like
at Man
Doku, you know.
City.
Love him, lad. I think he's a fantastic player, him, lad. plays with such confidence in his game. He's another one, by the way, that I like, has that dog in him. You know, that fight to get the ball back.
Yeah.
He's got that dog, lads. I love that.
That dog.
That dog.
In the National League, Dagenham and Redbridge 1, Woking 1. Sutton are also 1-0 down at home to Morecambe, the home of the heavyweight champion of the world, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world, I should say.
Are Wrexham playing
Tyson
today?
Fury. They will be, of course they will be, yeah. And we'll have their
Mullen,
scores.
lads.
He's actually from the Wirral, you know.
I know, but we're
So,
playing him, lad. We'll take him on still.
Well, I don't know if you can do that.
We'll take you on.
Let's go to the...
we have a goal at Brentford.
we do.
Another.
G-Tech. And it's Wissa, 25th minute.
No, we said that 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Yeah, buddy.
We did that one.
It's okay, bud.
Oh.
All of that. In the National League right
running
now,
about Sancho.
Wrexham in League 2. Sorry,
League Two, yeah.
League 2 scores right now. Wrexham are 0-0 away at Bradford City. Again, you know, rewind 24 years ago. Bradford are in the Prem.
Yeah, mad.
Dean Windass scoring for them.
Remember that?
But Crawley are also beating Crewe Alexandra. And Salford won. Swindon Town won at the minute as well. Swindon Town, Louis Barry, the scorer for them. You
Louis
remember
Barry,
him
lad?
from Aston Villa.
Yeah. Is he on loan, is he?
He is. Milner needs to retire now, says Dale Wilson too.
That
It's
man
a
can
tough
go-
day for him though, isn't it? Up against Jeremy Doku, I can't
Yeah.
lie. 2-0 down in 15 minutes.
It's not fair, lads. They need to double up on him, lad.
That's a heavy day for
Oh, the
old
mighty
Jimmy.
O's
That's
are
Ashley
1-0
Young
up.
Diaz all over
It
again.
is, my friend.
Hey, the mighty O's
it
are
is.
winning, beating Barnsley 1-0 there. That was my team last year, by the way, because Liverpool was so poor. I needed to support somebody else for a moment, lad, and it was late in audience because they were the rabbi me house.
Damn.
The mighty O's, come on.
We're seeing there might be a VAR incident to come to in the Premier League. We'll come back to that in a second. But I wanted to talk now about the Arsenal game today. Chelsea, obviously, managed by Mauricio Pochettino. It was quite nice to see Mikel Arteta saying in his press conference that his senior debut at PSG in a team which also featured Pochettino. He said, "It was my first professional opportunity in Paris and we arrived at the same time. We lived together in a hotel for 3 months
Them too.
together."
Wait, who?
Arteta and
and
Pochettino.
Pochettino.
And they go head to head today as managers for the
Brilliant.
first time in the Premier League. Interesting game, this one. As I mentioned, we'll have this one for you live at 5:30. Myself, Dammy, the Chelsea fan. We'll also have Nick Francis and myself and Fuad on that one. But what do you make of Arsenal's, resurgence to the top under Mikel Arteta? If they win today, they go top again. Man City are obviously a couple of points behind them after they lost to Arsenal. But, knowing how Arteta came through at PSG, Everton, was at Arsenal, it's nice to hear these kind of stories where, even though they're rivals today, they were good friends at one point.
Yeah, football and
Probably
brains,
still
lad.
are.
Proper football and brains go to the top, lad, and that's what them both have done essentially. So it's nice to see. Talking about the game though, is that what we're doing right now? So Stamford Bridge, mate. It doesn't matter how crap they are when they play the big teams, like we were saying it earlier. They just pull up performances, lad. They really do. Do you know, there was a stat that we got told earlier which blew me mind. Chelsea have never been beat by the same team 4 times at their ground, lads, which is mad.
In a row.
Yeah, Arsenal have done it 3 times now. This is the 4th. They've never ever been beat. So if they do it today, lad, they've literally made history. Don't know if they can. They've been pulling out some form, Chelsea, now in the last few games. A little bit of form, lad. Better than we've seen all last season. So it's a difficult game. I don't think Arsenal are just going to go there and blow them away. I really don't, lad. Especially after an international break. Everyone forgets how much this has its toll on players and teams. It does. So I can't really see Arsenal just going, 4-0.
This type of game, if Arsenal are going to bear the flag of, we're going to win the Premier League this year,
This is where they do it.
this is the way you kind of grab this game by the scruff of the neck. At Stamford Bridge, we're going to go there, punch them in their bloody noses and take this title. We are the kings of London, if you like.
Chelsea have a boss record against
Yeah.
Liverpool and City at Stamford Bridge, lad. So, they are formidable. And they've got to do it. Liverpool and City, when they've won the league, have beat Chelsea at their ground. I remember the 2-0 when... was it 2-0? No, it was at Anfield. But yeah, Liverpool have beat them there. So this is the game. I agree with Fuad. If they're going to put their flag on the top of the Premier League...
When we won the
it's
league,
beating Chelsea.
we beat them 5-3 on the night we lifted the trophy.
Yeah, I remember.
I was there. Jack, Super Chat says, allegedly Jurgen Klopp handed Craig Pawson a brown envelope before the Merseyside derby.
Shut up, bud.
I wonder what all that's about. Big up Fuad Coys.
Come on, you Spurs.
Please.
Guys.
Liverpool have had 14, 12, 30 kickoffs, yeah? Do you know who the closest
Since
team to us?
2015.
Yeah, do you know who the closest is to us?
Tottenham.
Do you know how many that is?
6.
6.
Horrendous.
That's mad.
It is
There
horrendous.
ain't no packages by Jurgen Klopp, lad. Believe me.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Score
might
predictions?
go
14 and
fair.
6. 14 and 6.
Who says it's not an advantage?
Us,
Well, it
because we've
hasn't
only
been.
won 2 of them or something, lads.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're not taking the advantage.
Oh, wait.
Everybody wakes up early too, you know.
That's why, genuinely, that's why I think me and Gilly were so happy with that win, because we just never win them, lad. We always get
Yeah.
draws or lose them times, so I'm happy that we just got across the line. with that.
Gracie with another super chat says Egyptian King is just behind Gerrard for me, and he's just behind King Kenny. I would actually agree with that. I don't think it's too controversial.
What a top 3 that is.
It's not bad, is
already.
it?
I can't really comment on
Already.
like, I can't do it, right? So I love that they're legends of the games, yeah, fantastic. But I didn't get to watch them. They're not my generation.
Gerrard?
No, Kenny.
Kenny.
Yeah.
So I can't really comment or put him in my top 10 or whatever else because I haven't seen it, lad. The one I can do that with is Ian Rush because the goals speak for themselves. He's got more goals than anybody's ever scored for Liverpool. So he can be there.
346, but Kenny's got about 190 though.
I get it. But
So
I
they've got-
didn't
that's not
watch
bad,
him,
mate.
lad. I didn't watch him.
Bad,
So.
tell ya. Just back to Chelsea versus Arsenal. Let us know right now in the comments your score predictions for that game. Whilst you're at it, if you haven't already, let's get that like number right up to 1,000. We've got just over 3,000 of you guys watching. We will play a clip from the horror show that is coming on Thursday night
wanna
on
see
DR Sports. If you can get us to 1,000 likes ASAP, we'll play it for you. If you've just joined us, there's a horrendous clip of me being scared
Being a
3
muppet.
times in a row like a little wimp last night at Howl. Big up the Howl for having us, by the way. They looked after us last night.
Well, didn't actually.
Well, they didn't. But then they gave us alcohol and food. So, take it or leave it. But yeah, get that right up. And I can see the likes shooting up right now, but please continue to get that right up to 1,000.
Yes,
and we
please.
will show that clip for you again at half time. But score predictions, we've got 2-0 the Arsenal, 1-0 the Arsenal, 3-1 the Arsenal. We've got Chelsea 2-1. What do we think, boys?
Arsenal are the best team, right? We all agree on that, don't we?
Yeah.
Arsenal are better than Chelsea.
Yes.
Come on,
They are.
speak through that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was like, what's understood don't need to be said.
Yeah,
But
okay,
yeah.
So let's all start from that starting point. Yeah, Arsenal are better than Chelsea, okay? But Chelsea gonna win 4-0.
I was waiting for it, yes!
Nah, I'm gonna be real.
I think it'll be a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
can see something like that, lad.
I think it'll be it'll be an
Training outside,
exciting
lad.
game. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That evens games out. A lot of the times it does, lad. It really evens it out because it's fast, it's zippy. The ball's not easy to control. It gets away from you. Like this is gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not in the studio for it, but I'm going somewhere to watch it because I'm excited for
I
it.
think it's a good test for Chelsea as well after picking up form against maybe teams that they should be beating, if you like. Now against Arsenal, can you really? Is it really kind of a purple patch, if you like, or is it actually progression we were seeing over the last couple of games? Because even before that, when they were not winning, they were still creating a lot of chances. They were still dominating possession. So it's not like Chelsea have been playing bad, but it's a case of, are you really them?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Are
mean?
they gonna
So,
say enough?
against
It's both
Arsenal,
similar
it's a good
stories,
test.
isn't it? Similar stories. One's on the redemption arc, and the other one's like, if you want to be top kings, lad, this is where you put your stamp on it,
You
lad.
beat City
Yeah. And they
before
did.
the
To
break.
be fair, they beat
You've
them, lad.
done your job.
Yeah. Now do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the point of winning the league, lad.
Champions,
There's
yes.
No, you can't
Listen,
sit down, lad.
You can tell them as a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, it's
you can
pain.
get 90 plus sometimes.
Yeah.
Do your job the whole way.
95 plus.
And still, yes, 95.
We got
yes.
97 points in the last
98.
league,
Trust
lad.
me.
Yeah, it's horrendous. Come on, you Gunners, losers. Says, I don't know what you're trying to say there. Says study
Come on, you
time.
Gunners losers.
Yeah.
doesn't make sense,
The
but-
copium is strong here. Pretend that Chelsea are a good team for this game. Jokers, says the main anon.
We all just said that
If
Arsenal are
that's
better.
the case, go win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We
And
all-
literally, he started it off by saying
Arsenal
Arsenal
better.
are better than Chelsea.
Made us all
You
agree.
cannot win, Doyle. You cannot win against the internet.
Yeah,
The house always wins.
Against the
It's like the bloody casino. The house always wins. But we are the house, unfortunately, not you guys at home. But if you want to see that clip at half time of me absolutely bricking it, excretion coming out of my behinds,
Whoa. Whoa.
scared
Like a run,
by
like sprinting
clowns.
horse, lad.
I was wondering where the brown for the wall came from.
That's me, man. If you want to see that clip at half time, I'm going to ask you again. We're on 600 likes right now. Get it up to 6,000. Get it up to 1,000 at least. We'll settle for that.
Please, guys.
So let's do that ASAP if we can already. Back in the Premier League, still no goal in the Forest game at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, Luton 0. In League One, it's Peterborough, the posh, losing at home to Wickham.
Why are they
Wanderers.
called the posh?
I actually know the reason for this as well.
Because Peterborough is not a posh area.
It actually got voted recently as the worst town to live in
So
the UK.
why are you
Maybe it's
nicknamed
ironic
the posh?
then. That's the
No,
point.
there's
Maybe
a
it's
reason,
ironic.
man. There's a good reason as well, because Barry Fry used to be their manager.
Yeah, I remember
owner,
that.
And there was a documentary on it, and I watched it, and he went, "Yeah, this is why we're called the posh," but I can't remember the reason.
Someone in the comments let us know.
Let
You
us
lot
know
are
in the
always good with this
comments.
type of
I
stuff.
do love. I love
You
the
lot are
origin
always
stories of our
Yeah.
names
Yeah.
and clubs, lad.
No, we love it. AGT said Salah over Ronnie, therefore his opinion is void. Said London runs boxing. Oh, you're on boxing name, and you. Anyway, don't hurt me. Allow it, man. Big up Peterborough, says Rizzo. He's defending Peterborough as a town
The Borough.
and a club. The
Never
borough-
been? Never been?
No, never been myself. I know someone who's just moved from there to Abu Dhabi.
Where is it,
that's-
Midlands?
That says it all. It's kind of like in the arse end of nowhere. It's not Midlands, but it's not. Just get a map up and look up where Peterborough is, because
Basically,
it's
the
not
Midlands
really
and they didn't know
anywhere.
quite how to direct you there, lads.
I think the nearest town is maybe like Lincoln.
It's not the north, it's not the south, and it's not the Midlands, lad.
Yeah, it's just, that's what I said. That's the arse end of- that's the arse end of
crazy.
nowhere. No one even knows where it
Let me
is.
have a look.
Peterborough City.
I mean, okay, I kind of get what you're saying.
know what
It's
I mean?
not the Midlands, and it's not
Thank you.
Black Country Norwich, is it they call it? It's kind of in between that.
Yeah.
It's what, in the
It's,
middle of the south and the north.
It's literally in the middle of England.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
Middle England.
Shout out to our social guy.
It's Midlands. Isn't
What are you doing that, guys? What's going on?
it? Uni geography.
But shout out to Jack from the social team who says, "I'm from Peterborough. Leave us alone."
We're not, no beef, lad.
No beef. No beef.
Just trying to find where
But,
you are and that.
But you don't live there, so you kind of agree.
Why are they
with
called
us,
the
my
posh
friend.
then? Tell us.
Yeah, Jack, actually, you should
Yeah,
be telling
sure.
us, lad.
Don't worry about slander of the town. Just tell us the football stuff first. As I mentioned, we're around about 43 minutes in now into the Premier League, and there's still no new goals to update you on, but there has been a goal in League Two. Notts County were battling against Wrexham last season in the National League. Macaulay Langstaff has scored on the
Scores
38th
plenty of goals, that kid.
minute. He does.
So many
Loads
goals.
of goals, a hatful against Gillingham away. Tough place to go to, Gillingham. Still 2-0 to Man City at home to Brighton, which again is a great result for City, having lost their last 2 in a row. The last time they lost 3 in a row, Maurizio Pellegrini back in
Wow.
2016.
This team.
So it doesn't look like that's going to happen again.
What a force. they are.
But we're still without a goal in that Nottingham Forest versus Luton Town game. As I said, 43 minutes into that one there. And as we approach half-time, we will be discussing the top 5 Premier League wingers of all time. Let us know who we should include, and we'll have a chat about that at half-time for you guys as well. But as things stand, still nothing to update you on. But Jack from Social Team has now said that our manager in the 1930s said he wanted to sign posh players for a posh team. Victoria Beckham once tried to sue as she thought posh was her trademark, but failed. So there you go. It goes
So I had
back
to sue
100
them?
years. Yeah.
But they weren't posh.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's not your word.
Yeah, what the hell?
You can't do that. But there you go. There's the reasons. If you were wondering,
fair enough.
there you go, my friend.
We want to sign posh players for a posh place. What is that, lads? What's that
I
even
can't
mean?
lie. That's an awful reason for
It's
a
not an
nickname.
attribute for a footballer,
Yeah.
lad.
Yeah.
Wait, like,
That's
he's going to be
not
good
a-
because he's posh.
I was expecting a bit more of a law.
If anything, posh players are the ones you don't want in the
We're
team.
class,
Don't want to
lads.
get their kits dirty.
Yeah, exactly. Afraid
Oh,
to
yeah.
put a nut in. Brian with a super chat. It's quite a confusing one.
Peterborough just scored.
Big up to Peter.
Hey!
There you go. See? It works.
Randall,
Slagging them off.
40th minute.
And then
Randall.
Randall scores
Wonder if he's
for
posh.
the
Joel
posh.
Randall.
Brian in the super chat says England 8 for 101, chance 400.
What?
Not too sure what you mean there, my friend, but thank you nonetheless for the super chat. I'm waiting for United's match. Says someone here in the chat. Well, you've got a long way to wait, my friend.
Proper
8
horrible
o'clock
football
kickoff
match, that one,
that
isn't it?
Saturday,
Sheffield
8
United.
o'clock.
I like that though.
Yes,
do
I
you
like
like? Do you like the 8 o'clock Saturday?
On a Saturday?
Yeah,
Boss.
that's how it should
Not
be.
if you're playing in it.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't like Liverpool. No,
I would-
the ideal time for
Love
me
it.
Sunday 2 o'clock.
Nah,
It's weird.
man's
Like,
half
I
four
like
Sunday.
that time.
Man's half our Sunday. You get your roast dinner before it, lads.
This guy loves roast.
The only issue is you
loves
can't
roast
watch
dinners, man.
other leagues because it's pretty much the whole day Premier League.
Yeah.
What is going on at Carrow Road right now? It's 2-0 to Norwich, by the way. Gabriel Sara scored. But they're actually painting the pitch live and direct from above in the gantry. So, nice, I guess.
Let's be having you.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah, exactly. All of that. QPR have scored finally. Jack Clark-Salter with the goal to half the deficit away
Former
at
Chelsea boy, isn't it?
Huddersfield. Yeah, and Southend, who are in big financial trouble, are actually 2-0 up at home against Solihull. But yes, there has been another goal finally in the Premier League. But who has it gone to? Doyle.
It's gone to Newcastle.
It has.
And it's a Mr. Anthony Scouse-Gordon, mate, who scored the second goal.
Former
Stepping up big this
Evertonian
year.
scoring
He is stepping up, isn't he, lad? This
for
lad.
Newcastle.
Fair play to him. He got a lot of criticism, I think, last season for his transition from Everton. He wasn't quite hitting the ground running. This season, however, that Harvey Barnes coming in has put a rocket up his bum, lad, and he's been playing so well.
That's what you need, though.
Don't particularly like his character and who, like all that stuff, but I've got to give it to him, lad. His redemption arc this season has been great. He's
Harvey Barnes
menace,
out for
lad.
some time now as well. AB with a super chat. AGT, please explain why you would take Salah over Ronaldinho. That's not what I said in the video. Don't try and twist my words. I know what you're talking about, but please give context. And it was Flex who tried to do me dirty with the question initially as
That's
well.
another good question, lad. Who would you bring out of retirement, lad, if you could pick one player on this planet, lad?
To go back into their prime, or how they
only
are as fat old 40-year-olds.
Obviously not that body.
Right, because definitely
Okay.
not Ronaldinho. His legs are long gone.
There's 2 players that you should pick, and that,
God.
or 3 players that you should pick, and that's it. Or 4.
I'd say Ronaldo,
There's 4.
as in Nazario, El Fenomeno. I would say
5 then, yeah.
Steven Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard.
And I would say Andre Voronin.
It's Henry. It's Henry Voronin. It's Henry. It's Henry, yeah.
That.
That last one.
I don't know where it's... Hang on a minute. What do you want? That's what I say this. It's Henry. It's Dennis Bergkamp, Zidane, and Ronaldinho. They're the 4 players that you want back, lad.
I like that.
They are. And Ronaldo. And the original Ronaldo. They are the 5 players that you wish
definitely
you could watch
the
right now.
original. Ronaldo,
I'd
man.
want Maradona.
I was going to say Maradona, but I didn't watch him.
I want
so I
Maradona.
can't.
Just so we can have the Messi
So are we-
Maradona
But you
as
didn't watch him,
debate.
though, lad, so you can't.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
now I
yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Now I can. Now who's there, Messi or Maradona? Let's see it.
They're not just retired, we're bringing them back to life as well.
yeah, bloody hell.
as
I want them
retirement.
both playing for Barcelona as well.
I want them up top, just behind Pele.
Both wearing 10s.
United View says AGT knows what he said. I do know what I said, so go back and watch it. And Flex, you might be in Jamaica right now loving life, but your team is in crisis and you're catching wines in a swimming pool, my friend. So, you know.
Oh, it's 1-1 with Leicester
Play
and
that
Swansea
tip
there,
on
lads.
Monday, I'm sure as well. Yeah, as Doyle just said, at the Swansea.com Stadium. What a name.
Is that what it's called?
It is now. What did it used to be called again?
I can't remember. It wasn't that, though.
Swansea
The Liberty
Stadium.
Stadium.
The Liberty. There's nothing wrong with that, was there?
The
No.
Nothing wrong
Swansea.com
with that.
Stadium.
And
Wait,
it's
hang
not
on.
even like a big brand's come in to say, here's 50 mil, put your name on our stadium.
Wait,
They just
what's that
called it their own website.
Just call it the Swansea Stadium then, lads.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
drsports.com arena.
That's mad.
Come on. Oh, another goal. Let's go to Fuad. What's happening in this game at St James's Park?
It's 3-0 right before half time.
It is.
It's Longstaff chipping in with another goal this season. 3-0. Whitewash.
threes,
Past the pad.
If there's
Mr.
any 2 lads that I want
Hodgson.
to score, two lads that I like to score for Newcastle, it's Longstaff and Jacob Murphy. So good on them, lad. Longstaff, honestly,
Dogs.
so much respect for that kid because he's like the Jordan Henderson types of player. He's not the best quality in the world, but he's able to keep up with all these signings that Newcastle have brought in, and I
Gallagher.
love to see it, lad.
McTominay.
Love it. And he's still flying the
Yeah.
Longstaff flag for his little brother as well, lad. He'll be so proud watching his big brother there, lad. You know what I mean? Belt to that.
He got released by Newcastle.
I know.
Currently doesn't have a club. But yeah, buzzing to see his
Bring
his
him back
brother
for the
score.
family vibes,
Yeah,
man.
just get him in the,
Just
in the
come
dressing
on.
room, lad. If you give him $2,000 a week, he'll still be happy, lad.
Yeah,
Just get
man.
him in
Just
there.
get the kits out on a Saturday
You
or
know what I
something.
mean? Yeah.
That's it.
Here's the water, lads.
Yeah.
Waterboy.
You know what I mean? I'm getting paid $2,000 a week for this.
Adam
Literally.
Sandler.
I'll do it for
Oh
$2,000
my
a week.
goodness me, Peterborough. After we slagged off the
posh.
town, the city as being one of the worst places to live.
Don't say we.
Yeah.
Don't say we.
None
That
of
was
us said that, buddy. What are you
Hang
talking
on.
about?
I said there was a report a few years ago. So again, we'll put the blame to
Okay,
the side.
okay,
but they've
okay.
scored again, and now they're winning 2-1 before half time. What a 5 minute is! 5 minutes it has been for the mighty Posh 2-1 up
Mighty
as
boss.
well. Roy getting cooked, says Majib. Top scorers in the league now, says Dark by Design. That is Newcastle, of course. And it is now half-time. Nottingham Forest, Luton, 45 minutes of boring football, to be honest, and that is now half-time. Thank God for that.
Those are clean sheets, though.
Yeah, a few clean sheets knocking around. It's also half-time between Swansea and Leicester in the Championship. Rangers 2-0 up at home against Hibernian in the Scottish Premiership as well. It's a big one for Rangers under their fresh new manager, looking to go head-to-head against Brendan Rodgers and Celtic as they normally do every single season. Just a recap for you, the early kick-off today. Liverpool 2-0 winners at home to Everton. Ashley Young sent off, but Mo Salah on 75 minutes with a great penalty at the Kop end, and then on the 97th minute he made sure that win was confirmed. It's now half-time at the Vitality. Bournemouth 1, Wolves 0. Pedro Neto not really involved so far, but can he turn things around in the second half? Half-time as well between Stoke and Sunderland. And we're still just awaiting the full-time whistle here at Manchester City
Half-time.
as well. And it's Stoke 1, Sunderland 1 now as well. But as I said, what a 5 minutes for the Posh. They're now 2-1 up at home against Wickham in that one. Doku is so good, says Kevin.
Yeah,
really balling out for Man City in the first half. You wouldn't be surprised if this game just finishes 2-0 now.
I agree.
If I'm honest, the way they just play it out.
The best at turning it on. It's like what the best teams do if they go in ebbs and flows. They go 20 minutes of heavy metal football, lad. Then you have 20 minutes of managing the game, and then 20 minutes of that, and that's how you manage your energy through the game. And Doku has been a star man at that, mate. He has been since he started. He's proper hit the ground running. Every time Pep signs a player, genuinely, I just think this lad's going to be good. And they do. Every single one of them, lad.
Not every single one. I'd say 90%.
Most of
Calvin
the lads.
Phillips.
I mean, yeah, but he can't predict injuries, can he, lad?
He's been free and on the bench a lot with Rico Lewis
But
starting
he's
ahead
still
of him.
bro, Calvin Phillips at his best, lad, is still a really good footballer, lad.
See, I've always thought he was a little bit overrated, even at
Yeah.
Leeds. Yeah, a little
Same.
bit. Not for me. Not convincing enough.
guess for
Speaking of Leeds, it's half-time between themselves and Norwich. It's a far-away day for the Leeds fans there. They're 2-0 down to the Canaries. It is now half-time in every single Premier League game. Bournemouth 1, Wolves 0, Brentford 1, Burnley 0, City 2-0 up at home to Brighton. Newcastle, though, flying out of the traps, 3-0 up at home to Crystal Palace, and Nottingham Forest are drawing 0-0 with Luton. Of course, yesterday on DR Sports, we had the Best of Enemy show, as we always do every single week, with Robbie and X. Let's see what their predictions were for the Chelsea game against Arsenal, and also the United game as well.
Let's get straight into it, man. Chelsea versus Arsenal. Big game.
At Stamford Bridge.
Chelsea, Stamford Bridge. Chelsea won their last two games. I was down at Stamford Bridge yesterday.
Yeah.
Like bare Chelsea fans saying they're going to smoke Arsenal. Arsenal got a great record against Chelsea, man. I think
They must have released a new Arsenal strain, blood, that the Chelsea fans have found because they can't be
Well,
talking about it in the game.
you know what I mean? They're all confident, man. But you want to go first on this one?
I'll say 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game.
Hope it's a draw. though.
Right, because I do think Chelsea have picked up over the last couple of weeks. But I do think it's going to, but they have had a few injuries. I think Reece James could be out. I'm going to go for 1-0 to Arsenal. 1-0. We haven't conceded a goal away from home. We've been pretty good. Not many injuries. Should have a fully fit side. 1-0 to Arsenal. That's what I'm going for. The evening game, Sheffield United versus Sheffield United versus Man United. At Sheffield
United
at Bramall Lane.
versus Man Divided, blood. So, surely United got to win this, blood. I'm going.
What's going on at United, man? Every
1-0,
just
blood.
Be a scandal at United.
I'm just going 1-0, bruv. Man United.
Will that guy be in shock because they're not getting the Qatari guy no more, are they?
Nah, they're getting
Sheikh Jassim.
Ratcliffe.
Ratcliffe.
Sir, whatever,
Yeah.
Ratcliffe, blood.
The guy who's I'm a passionate Man United fan, he says, but he was trying to buy Chelsea before that and said he was a passionate Chelsea fan.
Oh my
Right.
days, blood.
It looks like he's going to be taking over.
No, I'm telling you, bro. These United fans got their dirhams and that ready, blood. You know them we're there, yeah. They need to change that back. Telling you.
Sheffield United versus Man United. I can only see one. What did you say? 1-0.
Yeah.
2-1. Give Sheffield United one goal.
Okay.
2-1.
I swear to God. He's got it.
And there you go, Robbie and Expressions predicting the games for this weekend. Robbie obviously going for an Arsenal win. And of course, me being scared out of my pants in the Howl last night. Shout out to them as well. If you just joined us at half time, we are now going to discuss the top 5 wingers in Premier League history. Get involved with us in the comments. We might as well write them down. We've got little boards under here. I think we've only got 2 pens though. So you do your top 5. Rub that out. And we'll go. We will go. You guys go first, and then I'll rob a pen and do mine. But your top 5. AGT saw the ghost of Karius. Says referee Javante. I did, my friend. That's exactly what I saw. It wasn't a good sight. I tell you, I had nightmares all night. AGT, have you mentioned Super Notts County with a huge away lead? Come on, you pies, says Ezio. Don't know what happened there. Chelsea fans should be scared of this Arsenal team, says Tamina. And we've got some top 5s coming in, but I think it's difficult really because there's been so many. And again, it's, I can see Doyle's gone with some massive names there. And he's struggling on the 5th. Fuad's going for his 1 to 5 as well. Hurry up, because I need the pen. Right, I'll go... Who else? I'll go this guy. And I'll go... Who have you got?
What are you doing? You can't look at
No, I've got different ones to you. Who's the number 3 though for me? Who's the number 3 for me?
Oh, this is too tough, man.
You weren't even going to put him though, admit.
Just one more. I don't want to put him in. I can't do it. Bro.
Okay, I hear it. I'm giving an honourable mention to
he's
the man.
Absolute legend of the game, lad. I can't not put him in there.
Gives the pen. So if you've just joined us, this is our top 5 Premier League wingers of all time. I'm still missing a number 3, but the number 3 is there.
It's gonna fume.
He's got to be in. He's got
to be there or thereabouts. So I'll go first. This is mine. I have added a 6th in there, but I've gone Salah number 1, just because of the output, the longevity, the trophies, the lack of injuries, the consistency every single year. He's got the most goals of any winger in the Premier League of all time. So I'm going to go with Salah. Number 2 is Ronaldo. Number 3 is Sadio Mane. Number 4 is Eden Hazard. Number 5 is Ryan Giggs. And then I've put David Beckham in at number 6. Let me know if you agree with that one or not.
I've got a very similar one, very, very similar.
The Beckham one was the one tearing me. And I know, of course, the documentary came out, so there's a lot of kind of, people thinking, no, listen, some of us have always rated Bex as more than just a celebrity or a
he's unbelievable.
Honestly, what a player. And even back then. But for me, this is the 5 I've gone for. I think for
We've got a similar one too.
The undisputed Ballon d'Or winner, for me, best player in the world at the time, Cristiano Ronaldo, number 1. I think Mo Salah, when you talk about devastation, him and Hazard in that list for me are devastation when you talk about Premier League. Goals and killer mindset, Salah. When you talk about fluidity, when you talk about leading a team in terms of the even eye test, as you were saying earlier, as in who are some of the most appealing players you've watched in the Premier League, there is no way you can't put Hazard there. I think when you talk about longevity, when you talk about consistency, Giggs has to be there. Well, I think he's got the most assists in Premier League history as well, if I'm not mistaken. So there's no way you're not going to include Giggs, in my opinion. And I think
13 Premier League titles.
Absolutely. The amount of titles he's won as well. I know some people will say, he got the, PFA Player of the Year on a year where, it was a bit of a, go on, take it. We'll give you one fight. Yeah, a legacy award, if you like. But you kind of always felt like he deserved one. And he'd had his previous big moments in his United career. But that one at the bottom, I think, is one that is very much forgotten on and slept on. And I'm so glad you've got him on your list as well. Because for me, growing up, it was like he played for the rivals. But wow, I used to. This guy,
Silk.
he's got weird duck style
Yeah.
feet.
His feet
but he's
point
got
out like that.
he's got
It
such
works,
close
like a penguin.
control.
Yeah.
You don't know whether he's gonna go right or left, and he was right-footed, playing on the left wing in a time when wingers were direct wingers. You were right-footed, you played on the right wing. He was scoring 13, 14 goals, I think, 4 years in a row. Like, you talk about inverted wingers nowadays. He was the first prototype. Him, Nedved, those were the kind
Robin.
of... Robin even came a few years after.
loved Robin.
He was the one that I felt like set the template for inverted wingers, and such a classy technical player. Never had the speed and burst, if you like, but always had that technique
for
about
sure.
him. And
Great
for
player,
me,
man.
just a quality player, honestly.
No Beckham
Robert
in the
Pires.
top 5 for you.
Beckham is the one, unfortunately. Beckham and Sadio Mane were the
Gareth
two for
Bale.
me. Sorry, and that was the other one. Gareth Bale, in terms of when you talk about peaks. You know what he did for Spurs fans, man.
Unbelievable.
The
player.
Norwich goal, the Stoke goal, West Ham,
San Siro,
like
when he was
back
at
to
the San Siro,
San
lad.
Siro. Like, there's so many moments. Gareth Bale, I just feel like even this week when we did the top 10 videos of the past decade, he was one I felt like, my God, he should be higher, man. I feel like we're not giving him enough credit, even for the things he's done for Wales. I know this is Premier League, but my God, man, what a player. When you look at high moments, Gareth Bale's career, arguably best British player, in my opinion.
Potentially in terms of output, trophies won,
Everything.
glittering.
Yeah.
Let us know if you agree or disagree. I mean, I've got Mane at number 3 out. You could have had, a Hazard there. You could have had a Bex. You could have had
Robin.
a Giggs there. I don't think Robin gets into it just
he
because
needs
of.
to get somewhere in
No,
there, lad.
not for,
Top 10, definitely.
maybe just
With
in
that
the top
Jose
10, but I
Mourinho
don't
team,
think
lad,
it was
that
long enough.
Formidable.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
2 seasons, 3 seasons. But I'm talking about
Another
5
Hazard.
plus.
Question.
Another Hazard.
Mahrez.
Yeah.
Where does he belong on this
do we not
list?
do this? Oh, we're so disrespectful.
When
lad.
you talk about,
Oh, wow.
one of the best first touches the
Give me
Premier League's
Ben.
ever seen, when you talk about eye test and everything, Mahrez
Who's
is
coming
there.
out? Wow,
When you
Mane's coming out.
Someone's top
Wow.
5 has changed.
Right, this is my top 5.
Flapped it.
So, and I've got to give him his props, lad. Absolutely.
What does HM
Yeah.
mean here?
Heung-min.
Honourable mention.
Oh,
nice.
I thought you meant human son.
So, number 1,
Yeah.
Salah. Salah is honestly one of the best wingers I've ever seen, lad. He really is. For his effectiveness on the game, for his redemption arc, everything he's done for Liverpool as a team, and his consistency for how long he's done it for, Salah is at the top. There's no doubt about it. Ronaldo is a better footballer than Mo Salah. There you go, he is. But what I'm talking about is consistency and longevity in the Premier League. Salah is the best. He is the top winger. He will go down as a legend in the game. Yeah. Second one, we all know Ronnie, lads. Ronnie is Ronnie, innit? He came into the Premier League and everyone was excited about this lad. And rightly so,
Yeah.
because he's gone on to be one of the best football players that's ever lived. So I'll give him that. He's my rival team, but I'll be respectful. So, the controversial one. I had Mane as third, right? Mane.
He's not even in the top 6 now.
Yeah, no.
Gone
Honestly,
from 3rd to
the
7th.
things he did for Liverpool were great, and that front three. But I always feel like Salah always pipped him. He always did. And when we mentioned Mahrez, I have no idea why none of us put him in the top 5, because that kid done it with Leicester, he done it with Man City, and he had one of the best first touches I've ever seen of any player ever in the game. And I mean what I just said there. Mahrez had one of the best first touches I've ever seen. Ridiculous. And he was just beautiful to watch. When you're talking about eye test, when you're talking about effectiveness, he had it all. He really did.
No, very good.
So there's no Hazard on your list, I noticed.
There is no Hazard on my bloody list. No, there isn't.
How comes?
Because he didn't do it for long enough. The same reason why I love Robin. I absolutely, Robin, mate, loved him in them F50s with the blue and the web on the side and that. Brilliant to watch. But he only done it for 2 years. So you don't get to get him in top 5 list.
I don't feel like Hazard did it for just 2 years. There were definitely
Bro, he
one
was
or
there
two
for
down
7,
years.
and he had two seasons where he was unbelievably world class. He was, but he also had seasons where he didn't score a goal and he literally down tools and was awful. Not just awful, like
That
terrible.
was the season they finished 10th, yeah.
Terrible. And so you can't put him as top 5 wingers when he's only done it for 2 years, 3 years. That's just the way it is. The same way, I said it earlier, the same way that people won't put Virgil van Dijk above Vidic, above Terry, above them type of players, Ferdinand's, because he only done it for a certain
but
amount
hang
of
on,
years.
bro.
I think
Virgil's
Hazard
been
definitely did it for
balling
longer.
for Southampton and Liverpool for 10 years
Yeah, but he
in the
didn't.
Premier League now.
He's not done it the same as them, lad. You got to
I
understand
definitely
that.
think Hazard was doing it for longer than that.
And
And
then-
that, if you're talking accusations in terms of like, did he achieve his full ability? Did he go on to do what he meant to do at Madrid, Belgium, and things like that? Yeah, maybe not, but I think in terms of the Premier League, I thought Hazard was easily one of the most exciting players to watch in terms of changing a game in the flick of a wrist. I think
all of these.
He deserves to be on that list
deserves to
for
be above
sure.
Pires,
I think Mahrez, don't get it twisted, I think was incredible. But a lot of the time at City had been a squad player for the most of it.
So all of them are though? All of them are squad players in City?
But Hazard was never that. Hazard was always main man at Chelsea, was always the please get us out of jail.
But only
Hazard.
done it for 2 seasons.
I think that's harsh. I think that's harsh. And I'm a big Hazard critic, mind you. I'm always like, you could have given us more. With what you had, you were meant to take over the world. But he didn't. And that's where I'm a little bit annoyed. But I think for what he gave Chelsea fans, I'm like, yeah, they rightly hold him in a high standard. But sometimes I do agree. I do think it is too high of a standard. But in terms of all-time Premier League wingers,
bro,
you know what?
The way his
Top
career
five.
ended
The
way his career ended is perfect example of his mentality. He got too big, got too heavy, couldn't play for Real Madrid. When it was time to do it for the best club in the world, couldn't. Right. So just quickly to finish it, Pires, Invincibles team, unbelievable player. Watched him throughout my lifetime, incredible player. And then last gigs, all-time Premier League player. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, just on the Mane one, he's 111 goals in the Premier League for Sadio Mane, so I think that deserves a top 5 at least. But there's some really sad news to bring you, actually. Speaking of the greats of Manchester United, we've just lost one, unfortunately. Massive commiserations go out to Sir Bobby Charlton's family, who have just lost the former Manchester United midfielder at the age of 86. When we talk about legends and foundations and, you know, doing it for many decades, involved with the club, of course, up to very recently. Really sad to see this. So from 1937 to 2023, rest in peace to Sir Bobby Charlton, who sadly lost his life today. Really sad news, that. Another super chat here from Robert Stevens, who says Henry used to come off the wing, so I'm guessing user classing him as a striker rather than a winger. Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, he would be the top.
Yeah,
he would be.
And there has been another goal early on in the second half of the Premier League, and it comes from Matheus Cunha, the man that you wanted to see a little bit more from, Fuad.
Yeah, that's exactly what Wolves need as well. Going down 1-0 to Bournemouth in the first half, coming out second half with a bit of gusto. Matheus Cunha providing it. 1-1 now.
1-1 in that game.
Can they kick on though? That's the question.
It's good to see him finishing. I've seen when he played against Liverpool, he missed some really heavy chances, and I've seen it in a few other games. So glad he's got a little goal for himself there. My predictions on, I said 1-1, didn't I?
Yeah,
you did indeed. Every single game in the Premier League has restarted, apart from Newcastle and Man City, who haven't actually restarted that game yet in the Premier League, but still nothing yet to update you. Or there is now. Stoke at home at the Britannia, a 2-1 up now at home to Sunderland. Luke McNally with the goal. Again, that could have been a game in the Premier League at one point once upon a time. Stoke haven't been in the Prem now since, I'm trying to think, when was the last time Stoke were in the Prem?
When Gerrard left, 2017
maybe,
like
2015. Nottingham Forest have scored a goal at home to Luton. Who scored it for them? Doyle.
Yeah, look, I can't even see. Oh my God, it's Mr. Chris Wood. Yeah, we don't see many goals from him nowadays, but he does pop up every now and then. And there he is with a 1-0 for Nottingham Forest, which I expected. I expected him to win.
Replacing Awoniyi as well, so
Yeah,
needed to chip in with something today.
His goal. Nice early goal that for Forest. Can they build on that? Luton, awful start to the second half for them. The second half has now restarted again at the Etihad. Man City, as we know, 2-0 up in that game. PSG are also at home to Strasbourg today. It's 0-0, 10 minutes into that one. And Getafe are playing Real Betis, which is my favourite team in La Liga. And that's 1-0 at half-time between those guys there. But we're seeing the players come back out now all around the country. And of course, like we always do on the Saturday Football Show, we'll keep you updated with everything that happens in the next 45 minutes. Saying that, PSG have just scored, and guess who?
Kylian Mbappe.
Correct.
Killy.
Did
you see his dad scored the other day?
Yeah.
Lad sat to keep it down.
You see where he gets it from, yeah? You see where he gets it from.
Wilfred Mbappe.
Mbappe genes are strong. In 20 minutes, we'll also have team news for you coming out of Stamford Bridge. Chelsea versus Arsenal. Don't forget, if you're watching this show right now and you're thinking, how am I going to be entertained during the Chelsea and Arsenal game that isn't on traditional mainstream TV? It's this. This is the stream that you need to be watching. Chelsea versus Arsenal live on DR Sports. Myself, Fuad, Nick Francis and Damien Side, the Chelsea fan. Looking forward to that one. And if you have just joined us, again, over 3,000 of you watching right now, smash that like button. We're still not up to 1,000 likes. Let's get that up right away, please. And we might even, do something when that happens. But let's get that right up to 1,000 if we can, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Very close to 330,000 now on DR Sports on YouTube especially.
Wow.
DJ says Hazard won 2 Prems and was in the league for 7 years. That's his super chat there. Bale was the best player in the league when he played for Spurs, says Robin
Very
Hood.
true.
Suarez would probably have something to say about that. Not too sure.
Nah, Bale.
Hazard was a big flop at Real Madrid, that's for sure, says Buffalo
Massive.
Soldier. Up the Cop TV says Sam. Rest in peace, Sir Bobby Charlton, says Adads, 100%. A real big loss for the English footballing game.
Have we got any more
Today?
World Cup winners still left with us?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I hope so.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty
What a
sure there's a
legend.
good few. I'm pretty sure there's a good few.
Big news, that massive news, that.
Yeah. As we know, he was,
Respected by
regular.
everybody, lad.
Yeah, he was a regular at Old Trafford, even now at his age there. So, yeah, really horrible news that coming out of Man United, and they'll obviously be even more pumped up now to go and dispatch of Sheffield United away tonight after that really sad news. So, once again, rest in peace to Sir Bobby Charlton. Matisse is in the chat. Shout out to you, my friend. He says, flopping at Madrid comes into a Premier League debate? Question mark. Are you
I
not
was
doing
talking
a
about-
stream, bro?
No, listen, I was
I
talking
thought
about
you'd
his
be on the stream
mentality.
yourself.
I was talking about his mentality and how he only done it for 2 seasons while he was with the club for 7 years, and that Real Madrid career was the manifestation of his mentality. That's what I was talking about. Salah and him are not comparable. They're just not.
No, they are, in my opinion, also not. Any goals to update you on? There's been one in League One. Charlton at the Valley against Reading. Again, that could have also been a Premier League fixture once upon a time. Chuks Aneke with the goal for... are they called the Addicts? I think they are called the Addicts.
Who, Charlton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Addicts?
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
as in like drug addict.
ADDICKS.
Or gambling addict.
Why?
As we've heard a lot of. The Addicts. Yeah.
Why?
I'll look it up if you want me
Yes,
to.
please, buddy.
Why are Charlton called the Addicts? There we go. Why are they called the Addicts? Well, Doyle, it's thought to come from the southeast London way for saying haddock fish.
That's a
It is
belter.
said that a local fishmonger would attend Charlton matches waving a haddock nailed to a stick to advertise his shop.
I love it. I love it.
Wow.
See,
The
that's
addict.
the Newcastle. Remember I said about the tunes
Addicts.
with Newcastle? That's because of how they say town.
Town,
So
I
they say
remember,
the
yeah.
tune. I'm going in the tune.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's brilliant.
weird,
That.
Yeah, brilliant. Addicts. There you go. Addict fish.
Addicts.
Little update for you, though. There's been a red card in the Premier League, and it's gone to... Fuad?
Lewis Cook of Bournemouth. Down to 10 men now. Ooh.
That's a
That
big one. Now.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Wolves have just equalised in that as well. So, last thing you need is to go down to 10 men second half.
That
while
probably
they've got
tells us.
momentum as well.
Yeah. Probably tells us that Wolves are coming at them if they're
Wolves
getting
should
red
have their
cards and that.
tails up now, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. In the Championship, we're still seeing Blackburn 1-0 up at home to Cardiff. Bristol are leading Coventry. It's not looking good whatsoever for Leeds. All the way down in Norwich today. They are still 2-0 down away from home. They've had 2 yellow cards in that one as well.
That's from west to east, isn't it?
That's from north to south-east.
Southeast.
Yeah. Leeds and Norwich. Yeah,
Southeast.
Leeds is
East
the
Anglia,
hella
lad.
north, bro.
East Anglia.
And Norwich is like the
So
other
we're
end of the
doing- we're
country.
doing
So a
Where the
lot of
Vikings
maps.
today,
Do you know
Where
what?
the
You-
Vikings
we're
landed,
doing
lad.
geography
It's not just learning the 3 o'clock
Leeds.
kickoff scores. We're actually
Geography.
learning geography
Yes,
as
bud.
well. We might as well just have a map. Did you see?
Bloody hell, mate.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
very
one-
far. Very far, my friend. Very far away.
Leeds
day.
have fell, haven't they, again, lad?
Leeds fans though are brilliant away from home. They will travel and they will make noise if they're not happy as well. By
Absolutely, they will, yeah.
the way, 2-0 Oldham are leading Rochdale away. Devon Green with the goal on the 49th minute. Rochdale and Oldham, what a game that promises to be. Brighton have started the second half brightly, Doyle.
Brightly, indeed. They've had a few little balls into the box, I think you can see from the commentary that we're watching. Yeah, they look like they want to have a battle with Man City, and they can. They've got the ability to, and they've got it in their arsenal to do it. But on the other side of it, Man City are so good at managing games. They know how to frustrate you. They know how to get fouls. Just brilliant at it. So we'll see what happens in the game. I'd absolutely love to see Man City drop points, and so would Arsenal fans and everyone else in the country. But it's probably not going to happen, buddy. It's very rare.
Well, Matisse is back in the chat. He said Hazard Chelsea Player of the Year 13-14, 14-15, 16-17 and 18-19. But then Douglas says this nerd in the comments is defending a rat who snaked his club whilst in his prime.
Heavy.
So Matisse.
So he won Premier League player 4 times, did he?
For Chelsea.
For Chelsea. Yeah, so then.
So that shows you maybe they didn't have the best players.
Best player in the club.
Yeah. It doesn't really count, lads.
Well, Matisse, you'll be here Monday, man, so you can speak up then. But go and subscribe to Matisse. He was there last night.
But please do not compare Hazard to Salah, because
Ever
then
again.
you'll look like a divvy, okay? Please don't do that.
Barnet have scored at home to Maidenhead. Nice game, that one. 2-2 now. Callum Stead with the goal. And Crewe have come back from 2-0 down at home to Crawley to now 2-2 there. Everton are going down with about 30 laughing emojis, says LFC Sam with the super chat. Are they going down?
This is honestly, I've watched Liverpool and Everton all my life come from that city and that, but this is honestly the worst I've ever seen Everton. This is atrocious. And he had Tony Abbott at one point, lad. You know what I mean? He was right back for them at one point,
Yeah,
lad.
but they were finishing like fourth.
That's what I'm saying, lad. Like this team, honestly, I have no idea what they're doing. But having said that, after that performance today against us, that team doesn't look lost. They do have a structure. They do have something there. I think Sean Dyche just needs a full season, lad. Give him that full season and he'll keep them up. I do
This
think
is his full season.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
So
he needs that full season. I think.
So
they
even
will
though
keep
you've
them
never
up.
seen them this bad, you still think they'll stay up?
Yeah.
Just.
Because Burnley were just as bad at one point as well, and they kept them up. And that's what he's forming here. He's forming that hard to beat, pain in the ass team with Dominic Calvert-Lewin at the top, who's dead hard. Tarkowski at the back, who's his defender anyway. Just a dead difficult team to beat. He's even got a few Burnley players, and he's got Dwight McNeil in there as well. He's got them in there, so I do think he'll keep them up. Especially with it. It's going to be a case of this. Other teams are worse than Everton. Luton. Who else can we put there, lads? Who's going to get relegated? Luton definitely.
I mean,
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
You know, the
Wolves are
names
pulling
there
out
at the
right now.
minute. I'll just
Bournemouth.
give you the table. At the minute, at the right at the bottom, you've got Sheffield United, Burnley, and Bournemouth. Everton aren't in the top. Sorry, in the bottom three, but Luton. I
They're going to get
guess I agree.
saved by that, lad. Believe me.
There's three teams worse than them.
Burnley and Luton are going to save Everton because they're not as good as them. And it's not because Everton are great. It's just because they haven't come up and done what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Burnley were boss in the Championship. Really incredible. But they've come up with that exact same plan. And it's just not worked out. And they're not dynamic enough to change. So unless they get a new manager in and he starts changing up the game, which might shake them even more, Everton are going to stay up, lad.
Bring back Deutsch.
Innit? Deutsch. Nah, he's got his bed now, lad. He's sitting in a little Scouse blue bed, chilling.
Put in the
Paul
first seats
Pastor.
in their stadium today, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor kick out there from Ortega Moreno, and it wasn't. It's dispatched by Pascal Gross. Is that a penalty? Nah, it's a bit
absolutely
soft,
not,
isn't
buddy.
it? He was
Just
asking
bring
for
him
it. Was Pascal Gross, but did not come to avail. Chelsea Player of the Year is so prestigious, says Douglas Duga. I'm fed up of that debate. Let's just move on from that one.
It's
There.
stupid.
Doyle, hell of a player, says Anish.
Me?
No, Kevin Doyle.
Oh. I can't play football though. I'm good at it, you know. I'm actually good at footy.
Well, no, I'm joking. You are good. I'll give you that. We do play a lot.
Thank you.
I'm so ready for Fuad's tears when Spurs drop off. Man's been too unbearable.
Nah, I'm not
says
bothered by
Mutalib.
Fuad. It's not Fuad that I want. It's Abby. Abby needs to get. She's the one that I want to see. The
I
tears
haven't
in,
done
like.
anything,
When we-
man.
She was
You know-
crying last night. I tell you that.
Yeah.
There
When,
was some Abbey tears
when
last
that game
night.
happened with Liverpool and Tottenham, I walked down in the studio. Yeah, walked down the stairs. Fuad's walking in. He's all happy and had a big grin on his face, and he's looking at me and he goes, "Yeah, okay, yes, Sam." Like he knows, lad, because he's with boys and that. He
listen.
knew. He was like, "I'm not gonna do it to you, lad."
If you see me, I don't at people on the timeline
Yeah,
after
good
they
lad.
lose. I don't go after people. I I make observations and I leave it as
He does it on the stream. He does it on the stream, which is his job. Yeah, he's got to do it on the stream. But in our life, lad, he's
I'm
a
a nice guy, man.
Abby gets us. She be getting us, you know what I'm saying?
Nas says that. Study Time says Abby is moving mad. She needs a humbling dude. Like 3 games in a row, dude. LJ Brown, Fuad needs to be in the mud. Well, he isn't.
People want you, lad. This is no one
winning every week.
Hey,
Everyone
do you know what
wants
it is?
in the mud.
People don't want to see you happy.
No,
that's what I've
nobody
realised
does,
is they don't want to see you happy. They want to see you miserable, veins bulging, angry all the time. It's like, hey, man, the game is the game.
Last season, I come here for so many Liverpool games, and everyone was just like, Doyle deserves this.
We can't wait.
And to be honest with you, probably did. So it's one of them. It took me elsewhere. I was just
Hey,
like,
it swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, that's footy for you, isn't it, lad?
Yeah.
And that's why when you're on top, lad, enjoy it.
Enjoy it, I'm telling you. I've been saying it all like start of the season. I was like, don't let rival fans trick you into thinking you can't enjoy this honeymoon period. Because guess what? Honeymoon periods only come round once. They don't come round again. Under the same manager.
Oh, sorry. I thought
Every manager gets one honeymoon period.
Honeymoons.
Enjoy that honeymoon period.
reckon though-
Don't preserve yourself and be like, oh my God. Enjoy it. If it goes away, it goes away. If it carries on, hey,
I'm feeling like
we carry on.
I feel like Liverpool are getting a second win with Klopp, though. You know, I feel like with our rebuild, this is our second a new team.
It's not a honeymoon
It's
period,
exciting.
but
No,
it's
not.
But that's what I'm
we're
saying. Yeah, it's
excited.
the second win.
We're excited, lad. We're ready
Yeah.
for some. You know
You've
what I
had
mean?
like couple counselling and you're thinking, oh,
Yeah.
you're quite sexy actually.
Oh, actually, yeah. She looks good. Yeah.
After 8 years.
I was gonna say something crazy. After hours.
Yes, buddy.
Yeah, post 9 o'clock that one. That's the R Sports Extra.
Watershed.
Which we don't have at the minute, but I'm sure there will be one day. I mean, that was a good one. Study Time says, I'm a diehard Arsenal fan and I'm getting married to a Spurs fan. Any advice?
Come on, you Spurs.
Quit.
Don't
do it.
Hey,
I don't know if you've put your deposit down for the venue. Get it back.
Guess what?
Because that marriage will not last.
Your kids are Spurs. Through
Well, that's what
and
she said.
through.
My biggest fear is my kid in a Spurs shirt.
Oh, heavy.
You don't have to fear it.
Who
They will
has
be
the authority
born
in that
out
situation?
of a Spurs womb. Yes. We are entering
wow.
the world as a Spur.
Coys.
Yeah. Maybe it's just time to stop that wedding before it happens.
I always
It's
think
sad,
that's a
but
tricky one, man, because even the troops I know has the same situation. Like, there's a lot of people who are in that type of scenario where their partner, and I'm like, what is this cruel joke that just happens where the person you fall in love with, it's going to be a rival.
It's the way
You never know.
That's
And do you know what? I'm not going to lie. Many a times I've looked at Arsenal, right? Y'all got something in the crowd for me. Hey.
Fuad's such an uncle sometimes, man. I love it.
It's like, I'm going to go and seek one of the enemy.
Oh,
What you got?
I got my eye on the enemy, all right?
All right, moving back onto football, it's Brian Mbeumo, who some people say looks a bit like Flex. I've heard some people say that. I wouldn't agree. But Brentford have gone 2-0 up at home against Burnley, and it is Brian Mbeumo who carries on with Wissa. His decent goal scoring form this season in the absence of Ivan Toney. Speaking of Ivan Toney, I wanted to speak now about Sandro Tonali, right? As we've seen today, he was available for selection against Crystal Palace, despite the ongoing investigation into the allegations that the Newcastle player gambled on matches that he was involved in, right? This happened at AC Milan, allegedly. My first question to you both, because I've seen the Matty Renton AC Milan rants this week on the Magpie channel, but my first question is, and I think I know the answer that both you're going to say, did AC Milan know about this?
Yes, they did.
sold him?
Absolutely, bro. Yes, they did. Bro, like...
AC Milan.
Hey, yo, hey!
He's a
hey,
what's
yo.
it called? Milanese?
Yeah.
He's Milanese, yeah.
Milanese.
Yeah, Milanese. He's one of their own, lad. You do not let him go. It was a shock to the world. I remember being literally here and us all talking about him coming to Newcastle and being like, why? Why are they letting this happen? And
He
it's
was crying
because
when he left Milan. Now we know why.
Crying, yeah. And this is why. This is definitely why. I don't think it's particularly just Tonali. I think they've known about a scandal.
Because Fagiolo 7-month ban.
Yeah.
And Zaniolo is being investigated now as
You
well.
got to understand, like, these police investigations or whatever else they are, these investigations don't get leaked immediately, right? There has to be some solid evidence. But what they will do is they go to a club and say, we're investigating one of your players for this. And they'll go, holy moly, let's get rid of this player. We don't want to be involved in any of this stuff. Particularly, no disrespect, not saying anything, particularly if you're an Italian club where there's already been a lot of that type of stuff in the league that's happened before. They don't want to be linked to that ever again, lads. So the second they see one of their players doing something dodgy, Middle so what, bro? Get out. That's what happened, lad. I tell you now, that's what happened. And for 50 mil, which was cheap, bro, they said go.
70, wasn't it?
Facts,
No, it's 50.
Oh, it was 50.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they must have known. I heard Matty Renton chatting about money back guarantee within 90 days of the receipt.
That's hilarious.
You can just imagine it though, can't you? You know, in the board, they're going, listen, we know about your betting. We're going to sell you to Newcastle. Newcastle go, Tonali's available. Let's get Tonali in. And then they say, there's nothing wrong with this transfer. And they go, hey, oh,
Well,
hey,
I mean, how would
hey.
you even be able to investigate that as a club who's
wouldn't.
bidding?
You
You wouldn't
can't.
know.
You wouldn't. But
Confidential, bro.
Yeah, that's like confidential.
Confidential,
but they've
There's a
done them
background
now.
investigation
They've
going on. There's
done
no
them
way
now.
I'm going to tell you about that. I'm just going to tell you, this is one of Italy's greatest young talents. He's our captain. He led us to a title last year. We can't send him for any less than 60. Listen,
But they've
take it or
done
leave it.
Newcastle there, haven't they?
Exactly.
And they got it done.
And then
Fair
they walk
play. Fair
out the
play to
room
AC.
Fagioli.
Are you hearing Newcastle's
Hey, we got away
potential
with one, right?
solution? Newcastle's potential solution, though, might be to get Ruben Neves in on a 2-year loan from Al Hilal, because obviously PIF own that club and Newcastle. And I mean, if there's ever a perfect replacement for
Is that allowed though?
Tonali.
Is that a
So,
conflict
what is
of
this?
interest?
I mean,
Is the Saudi league just
when
like...
John Textor sells a Lyon player to Crystal Palace, it's seen as, oh, it's not a problem, so why can't the Newcastle Saudis do it?
Hey, listen, I mean, if everything is true and we are believing what we're hearing, this could be a year ban.
Do you know why
for
they can't do
Tonali.
it? I'll tell you why they can't do it, right? Because Saudis have unlimited money, right? So that means they could buy anybody and drop them off at any club that they want to do. That's just not
It's a different
ethical,
federation,
lad.
though.
What?
It's a different federation.
What do you mean?
As in, like, Newcastle operates under UEFA, Al Hilal operates under the AFC.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but also it's like me going to pick all the best players, putting them in a bag and going, Man City, Newcastle, do you want some of these?
But that's what City do with their multi-club priority, and Chelsea are starting to do with Strasbourg and all these clubs. Like, it's being
it's
done.
business, lad, innit? It's just
being
business.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. And I don't know, I can't wrap my head around it because I'm not a businessman, am I? And I just want the game to be all this honesty.
Clearly.
But to get
Working man's game.
you've got to be smart, and these clubs are smart, so good on them for that, like, I guess. But also, ooh,
Yeah.
can we just all have £5 each and just buy players with that? You know what I mean?
Norwich 2, Leeds 1. The man who scored for Norwich has now scored an own goal. Shane Duffy, just after the hour mark, gives Leeds a hope. Whereas I tell you, it's more than a hope for Southend. They've been hoping to keep their club open for the last few years. They've had 18 winding up orders from the courts, but the judge has said every single time the community is too strong to get rid of this football club. And he's right, because they're winning 5-0 at home to Solihull Moors. Right now in the National League, in League One, Charlton have doubled their lead. The Addicts, I wonder if there's any people waving around boards of haddock today at the Valley, but Tyrese Campbell has scored a second for the Addicts, and it's still 2-0, by the way. Man City, Mitoma's just gone on a long winding run. Foden could have been booked for dragging him back, but Akanji was booked for dragging him back. Still proves to be a big problem, does Mitoma, with his dribbling. He's some player. Yeah, just going back to the Tonali betting scandal, if he is banned for a year, the Newcastle, well, how do they react to that? Because they're not going to pay him still whilst he's banned.
That's why AC Milan have done that. They haven't got the money to keep paying his wages while he's banned for a year. That's why I know they knew. They definitely did.
It's mad how that's gone under the radar and it's only come out now, I think. It's mad.
But you've got to have concrete evidence. These things have got to be concrete before they come out. There has to be some, we did say there's no fire without smoke. There has to be a fire somewhere. And they've known about that fire. And now it's being confirmed that some things have definitely happened. Tonali's come out himself and said, yeah, I'm addicted to gambling and all that. So they knew about that, lad. And what Fuad said, they're just going to do that, aren't they? They're just going to look for players that they can get. They've got the money. Doesn't bother them.
Yeah.
That's why they could take the hit on that. They could literally have him out for a year, pay his wages, means nothing to Newcastle.
Yeah.
So They'll just find another player, lad. And also,
Question is how it affects him. I think more is
I
kind
agree.
of the more, because you're taking a year out of football and then it's like,
Do you have the
I always
same
think
hunger
with
to
the-
come back?
it's not
After
even
that.
that, but even with the gambling addiction, like you now have more free time than ever. It's almost like,
dangerous thing.
idle minds kind of are the worst, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I always just think, listen, being around the dressing room and at least you can kind of keep your mind off it if you're trying to fight an addiction or whatever. But the worst thing you need is just kind of that exclusion and that kind of, free time whilst you're getting paid or whatever. Unless obviously they dock him a year's wages, which I don't believe will happen or is even legal. But
No, I don't think
when
that
you're
is-
banned, does it mean you can't train? You can't train
I
either.
think it's
well,
any
Ivan
footballing
Toney
activity.
was pretty much
Yeah.
suspended and excluded from everything.
Can't
so
even train,
I'm
bro.
I'm expecting what happened with Ivan Toney. I hope he wasn't being made an example out of, and then everybody gets a lenient sentence. No. I want the same opportunities handed out that was handed out to Ivan Toney. And if that means Ivan Toney got suspended and told you can't be around the club for months, same thing's gonna happen to Tonali. And I just think, listen, now you're gonna really, now the battle begins for him. I feel like
Mentally,
And I know
mentally,
he's been
how is he
saying-
feeling right now?
Yeah.
man? Speaking of his team, they've only gone and scored again. Callum Wilson, 4-0. Newcastle up against Crystal Palace. Horrendous day this for Crystal Palace. Also in the League Two, it's your boy Paul Mullin.
Paul
has
Mullin, lad.
scored away
Hey,
for
lad.
Wrexham at Bradford. Again, a horrendous away trip that for the Wrexham fans in Wales, going right up to the top of the country against Bradford. We have got team lineups for you as well in the Chelsea versus Arsenal game. PSG now 2-0 up, by the way. It's Carlos Soler with the goal against Strasbourg. But let's give you the lineup now, and this is interesting. Sanchez in goal for Chelsea. Malo Gusto at right back. No Reece James, who does make the bench today for Chelsea. Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill and Cucurella make up the back five. In the midfield, Fernandes, Caicedo and Conor Gallagher. And through the middle today, Mudryk. Starting in the number 9 position. Sterling and Palmer either side of him. But hear this then from Arsenal. Raya in goal. Still no Ramsdale. Ben White at right back. We've also got Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko to make up the back five. Rice, Jorginho starts.
Wow.
With Odegaard. And then it's Saka, who does start for Arsenal today away at Chelsea. And it's Jesus and Martinelli also up front for the Arsenal. And on the bench there, you've got Thomas Partey, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Emil Smith-Rowe, Kai Havertz dropped today to the bench. Tomiyasu also there with Trossard on the bench as well for Arsenal. And there is no Ramsdale on the bench for Arsenal. It's Karl Hein, the goalkeeper, the Estonian goalkeeper on the bench there for Arsenal. No Ramsdale in the squad.
Wonder why that is.
How do we react to both of those
blood.
lineups, guys?
You want to do up chatty patty, talking to reporters? Yeah. Go sit in the stands and
done
watch
up,
from
lad?
there. Yeah. Go sit with the reporters in the stands. Yeah. I run this club. That's what Arteta's saying. Yeah. And I remember when David Raya got signed,
Or maybe
and I
his
was-
wife is pregnant. We're hearing in the comments. It might be because of that.
The hater within me will win someday.
Yeah, it's his wife having a kid. But like the famous Roy Keane once said, like,
Yeah, that's
do you remember what Roy Keane said? No. It's like, he's not having a baby, his wife is. He's not
Exactly.
pregnant.
Yeah, so
Yeah?
but he's going to be on sit on the bench while his baby has his wife
Well,
has a
maybe
baby.
he's
What are you
had
gonna
a
do?
word with Arteta.
Go
and
watch
said
your
this.
What are you gonna do? Get the gloves on and catch the baby?
Yeah.
Probably drop it.
Oh, that's
You're evil.
That's terrible. Woeful.
Nice try though, says Fotty231. Caught in 8K. Ramsdale's wife is expecting a child today, and with all due respect to her, I hope everything goes well. And
Yeah, for real.
and
for
Aaron
real,
Ramsdale
yeah.
is a happy father.
I tell you what though, them starting lineups, mate. Mudryk down the middle. He hasn't scored.
Matoma's in.
You know what though?
Ooh.
Did you
One
say
goal.
Sterling is starting? I reckon
He is.
Sterling will go through the middle. I don't think it'll be Mudryk through the middle.
Can't be, lad. It can't be.
It will be Sterling through the middle
Or it'll
for
be a
sure.
dynamic trio at the top where they all.
So it's Sterling,
interchange.
Mudryk, and
Palmer.
yeah, it'll be Palmer on the right, Mudryk on the left, Sterling through the middle. 100%.
It has to be.
Yeah.
But they've got a good team there. Chelsea haven't got a bad team. They haven't.
been
they've
saying
got
it.
They've got a team that can
been
win
saying
things
it.
there, but they just need to tick on. And I think they have found a little bit of something else in the last few games. It's
This-
definitely been teams they should beat.
What
But
they need to do is not let this game become like a confidence killer. if that makes sense.
Yeah, even if it's
Brighton
a draw.
knocking it around
for me-
nicely.
For me, a Chelsea draw against Arsenal is a good result for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Even if it's at Stamford Bridge, they still have to go toe to toe with these elite teams. When you're looking at that Arsenal team, when you're reading the names out, I was like, damn, how have Arsenal found themselves with a team like this, a formidable, strong side with winners in it? They've got Jesus and Zinchenko in there, lad. That just add a bit of an elite prospect to their team.
And it'll be the first time Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka
Have
all
had a
play
time.
together.
Yeah, for
I
a
think
while.
they've only played 14 minutes this year, they were saying. So,
Injuries.
yeah.
Big miss for Mitoma, by the way, at the Etihad. Brighton actually starting to knock the ball around with a little bit more confidence, a little bit more pace. And they're definitely the team on top right now. And they do have another corner coming in now. Swept in by Gilmore. It's at the back post. And I tell you what, Mitoma again. He's just hit the post with the header.
New contract.
Wow.
Hype.
The thing is, right, they've had a little bit of an opportunity today with the fact that Edison isn't starting.
By
I've
the
not
way-
really seen Ortega play much, but he's not going to be as good as Edison, is he? So
I don't know if you lot have seen the reports as well about Pep talking to some Brighton players, I can't remember when, but pointing to De Zerbi saying that he's going to be the next City manager.
Really?
What do you guys make of that?
oh my days, I would hate it. I don't really like De Zerbi. I think he's incredibly arrogant, lad. I think he plays great football, but the way he talks about his players sometimes, and I get it, he's confident, and so I guess you want a confident manager to go into a big team.
Does he remind you a little bit of Bielsa?
A little bit, in that sense. A little bit.
With
Because he
the
knows how good
outspokenness.
he's been in the last year and a half or whatever. So, he's only been there for a year.
He's a personality.
He's only been there for a year. But
You-
Man City looking to maybe wrap this game up right now. Doku's saved, though. There's been another goal in the Prem. And you all laughed at this, man. But Chris Wood is on a hat-trick.
Hey, I didn't laugh. I said they would get goals today with that front line.
Yeah, fair play. to
You all laughed. You all laughed. But there it is. Chris Wood on the double. And there has been another goal at the Etihad. And it's not gone to Man City, boys.
Brighton, yeah.
It is. And it's Ansu Fati
It is, right.
with the goal. And it's a nervy last 15 minutes now for Manchester City.
2-2.
And it's...
Get 2-2, lad. Gives a 2-2.
let's have a look at the goal. It will come after
Gives
that.
a 2-2.
But Brighton in the ascendancy with just over 15 minutes to go, actually. 73 minutes. Ansu Fati with the goal. I did say 2-1 to City. But I'd love I'd love a Desmond. I can't lie to you. I would love a Desmond.
Absolutely love to, lad. We'd be ahead of City ourselves.
There
then,
was
lad.
the chance for Mitoma at the back stick. He should be heading
coming.
that right back
It's
across
been
goal. But the goal did follow suit after it. It was Doku with the strike that was saved, though, by the keeper. Stealing goal.
I tell you what, if these drop points in the third game in a row, yeah. Wow. I don't think I've seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that. I genuinely don't, lad. That would be like a City having that after treble season. You know, like when you win the treble, lad, and you just drop off because you've done it all.
We
Are they
saying-
doing that? Is that what's going to happen?
Well, listen, they're still winning the game. They're still winning the game.
Doyle. Okay.
Keeper well off his line
Oh
there.
no, Ortega
played.
thought he was Edison.
And he did an Edison type of thing, to be quite honest with you. That really was what Edison would have done.
There you go.
Mitoma is such a good little player, lad.
Let's have a look at the goal then. It's Mitoma who
he's-
gets round. Brilliant. Brilliant. And it's a scruffy kind of finish, but that's his
That
first
was-
goal for Brighton. Ansu Fati.
That was a second goal for Brighton.
Big smile on his face. Is he thinking that they can do one better and get another goal
I hope
in
so.
the last 15 to 20 minutes? We will find out. Just under an hour until the Chelsea versus Arsenal game. We've read the team sheets out for you. Let us know what you think in the comments there for your predictions for that one. Of course, we have the stream straight after this one. So you don't need to go anywhere in terms of content on DR Sports.
Thing is, with Newcastle, right, I've just seen a scoreline there. We all said this was going to be a tough game for them, didn't we? All of us.
Yeah.
Another red card in the Premier League, and
But
it's
then
gone to
remember
Connor
we said
Roberts
it was
at
gonna
Burnley.
Remember we said it was at home afterwards, and then we went, oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're
oh,
actually
yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
steamroll it.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's because I thought it was at Selhurst.
Yeah. 4-0 is just...
A few red cards in the
Mad.
Prem today.
How long do
Love
you
it.
think, right, this is a serious question, I don't want to ask it, but I'm going to do it anyway. How long do we think it's going to be before Newcastle really, they're going to win that Premier League?
4 years.
Or, do you think it's going to happen?
No, 2.
2? You think it's going to happen in the next 2 years, Newcastle are going to win the
Within
league?
the next 2 years, I expect a serious Newcastle title challenge, with or without Eddie Howe.
How long did it take Man City.
4. So I think it was 2008 they took over, 2012,
Yeah, that's
2011
right.
they won the
Yeah.
FA Cup,
That's
2012
4
they
to
won
5,
their first title.
yeah.
And I think their progression so far, getting to the Carabao Cup final, qualifying for
Looks the
Champions
exact
League
same, doesn't it?
this season, group of death, but you seem to be dealing with it okay. Your home form is still strong. Yeah. I think the only thing maybe people can criticise is saying, against a Man City or whatever, they played really bad and they've kind of set up very defensively. But I kind of like that tactical flexibility from Eddie Howe, in my opinion. I hate it when managers have like just one method.
Yeah, but he can't. The boss thing about Eddie Howe is he had to manage Bournemouth and he came all the way from the bottom tiers all the way to the top. So he had to try so many different systems, so many different tools, so many different things to be the manager he is now. Yeah. And so when he is coming up to the Premier League, he's got all these different things in his arsenal to whip out, lad.
Yeah.
So he can change the dynamic of the game very easily. He knows how to play against different teams. That's why he's a top manager, in my opinion. That's why Newcastle is successful, because they picked the right manager.
Yeah.
He knows when to back down and he knows when to go for it, lad.
And
That
they're 4-0
PSG
up
game,
right
lad,
now.
honestly, that PSG game was not just his players or the fans. That was him. He tactically smoked the other manager, Enrique, lad. Tactically smoked him.
Yeah, 4-0 up. They're smoking Crystal Palace right now. Another goal for Louis Barry. Stockport 3, Grimsby 2. Good day for him. There's been another goal in that horrendous start for Leeds, but they've dragged it back to 2-2. Crescencio Somerville, who actually scored the winner at Anfield, didn't he, for Leeds last season?
Is it Crescencio? I always thought it was Crescencio.
Oh, no, maybe it is. Crescencio. Crescencio. Let us know in the comments.
That looks like one of those Twitter troll names.
Yeah, cry more.
Crescencio's crying again.
Marcus Trashford. But Somerville scores. 13 minutes to go there at Carrow Road. Can Leeds do the unthinkable and come back to actually go and win that game as well? If you've just joined us now, we are of course reacting to the news that Sir Bobby Charlton has sadly passed away today at the age of 86. He apparently passed away this morning, and he was surrounded by his family as well. So he was a hero to millions, not just in Manchester or the United Kingdom, but wherever football is played around the world. Those are Sky Sports News' words, but we echo them on here on DR Sports, and it's a massive loss to the footballing world. So once again, RIP to Sir Bobby Charlton there for sure. A goal for Watford at Vicarage Road. It's Yasser Asprilla with the goal. 82 minutes in, we're still seeing this picture, this painting being made live. I've never seen this, to be fair, happen at a football match, but there you go.
Reminds me of like the 1920s type of pictures that they draw, you know what I mean?
That was the highlights
All that
picture in
needs is
1920.
Yeah.
Just
Match
a
of the
picture.
day.
Yeah, literally just one painting. Apparently he was also the last surviving member of the Munich air disaster as well, says Benjamin. So once again, we say it every time, rest in peace to him. I'm sure we'll have a nice few words said about him by Flex as well on the United View, so head over to there after the game tonight. Somerville looks like Russ Millions. He actually does. I can't lie to you.
That's a great shot.
It's a great
He does,
shot.
yeah.
That is a
great shot. Same trim.
Yeah.
There has been a goal in the game at the City Ground. It was
Actually, that's
Nottingham
a good one.
Forest cruising, but Luton have scored.
I was going to say that's a good one, actually. Send some more football lookalikes.
Who they look like,
if you
yeah.
could.
Mario and De Zerbi. That's a big one
Mario, yeah.
from the Cop TV. Yeah. Chidezi Ogbene with the goal for Luton is their late hope for the Hatters at the City Ground. They've only got around about 10 minutes, including stoppage time added on, to change that. But yes, it is Watford with the late goal against Sheffield
I've got
Wednesday.
one for you, yeah. This is mad. Honestly, I used to see it all the time. Harry Winks looks like Philip Coutinho, lad. They both look very similar. Old style
not
Philip
about
Coutinho, lad. Does.
No, I
Those
don't see
lads.
that one. This is a great one. Olise and Digga D.
Yeah, it's a good one. That is a good one.
Especially when he had the bucket hat on when he was signing the new contract.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, bro, that's Digga D signing a new contract.
yeah.
That's not Olise.
What's your one, lads? What's your one that plays for PSG?
Or Barcola.
Oh, yeah.
I can't lie. Barcola,
You said
and then
I
with
look
the
like-
short hair, I get Isaac.
Kelleher.
Kelleher.
No, his is Vitinha.
Vitinha,
Go
lad.
look up Vitinha and go look at this
That's
guy.
a joke, that one. Honestly.
Do you know what it is? I hope
Barcola.
Barcola never has the ability to grow a beard.
Because then he will.
That'll be my worst nightmare.
Yeah. He's like got a younger face than you because obviously he's younger than you.
Yeah.
But he's got the hair. But if he does get the beard, he'll look older and more like you. So fair
Someone
play.
said Fuad had most of the Chelsea squad.
Fuad and Fellaini, says Super Son.
Fellaini, what the
Not sure about that. Childish
Alonso
Gambino.
and AGT. That's not.
I've heard
far
that one
off,
before.
Actually.
I've heard the C-Tech.
You're almost like the English, You're
Yeah.
almost like the English edition, the English strand.
I'd take the C-Tech.
Someone said
I've heard a lot
AGT and
worse.
David May.
David May. Nah, what, the ex-United player? That's a howler, bro. That's a howler.
You remember?
You said I was like Kelleher, right?
Yeah, Kelleher.
My mum said I look like Kelleher as well.
Yeah.
Jamie Oliver. Taking the
Actually,
piss.
That's a great one. No, I can't lie.
Nah,
you don't
come
know,
on, man.
You don't know cams,
None of
right?
that, man.
You don't know
Of course.
cams, right? Culture cams.
Yeah.
Culture cams. Aurelian Chouameni. If you ever
Mainly the hair, though. Mainly the hair.
No, it's the face.
Nah,
I
why
want
are you
a picture
laughing,
side
bro?
by side of them.
Jamie Oliver, that's a howler. AGT and Matty Cash, I'll take
Matty
that.
Cash,
Good looking
mate.
boy. Doyle and Iron Man. I'm not sure.
Iron Man, I'll say Iron Man.
Doyle is Ian Rush.
Ooh.
I've said that. John Aldridge.
You don't know
more
the
like
John
that.
rapper
Aldridge.
Roddy Rich?
Yeah, Roddy Rich. Tyreek Lamptey, yeah.
That
yeah.
is a brilliant one.
Yeah. Cams is the swole Chouameni, says Nitish. AGT and Sadio Mane. I'm not sure about that one, my friend. Harry Kane and Ryan Gosling. No, that's a
No.
disrespect to Ryan Gosling, man.
I hear
it.
I hear it. It's not there,
But nah.
but there's reasoning behind that, and I hear
Oh,
it.
lad, we're missing the biggest one. Lukaku and Stormzy.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest one.
Without a shadow of
Someone
doubt.
called KG on the show the other day the fish market Mark Henry.
Nah, that's crazy. That's
The
crazy.
fish market.
Someone said
Mark
Lukaku,
Henry.
Robbie, and KG.
Oh no!
The addicts, mate.
Wow.
Oh.
Or Paul Chuckle Doyle, maybe.
Paul Chuckle, that's
Paul
fucking
Chuckle.
hilarious. I'm the Chuckle brothers
I've
now.
always said John Aldridge.
John Aldridge, lad.
You know, like 80s John Aldridge with the tash. I'll get it up. This
yeah.
fine. Nothing to update you on, by the way. Absolutely nothing in the crucial last 10 to 15 minutes of the games. But John Aldridge, let's see him.
Basically anyone with a moustache in it. Basically anyone like that, lad.
Bro.
Yeah,
Back in the day?
One, yeah.
Yeah, it's there. It's definitely there.
John Aldridge.
Shout out John Aldridge, man. What a striker. First non-Basque player to play for Real Sociedad.
Oh, Cecil and Militao is a great
That's a
one.
good
Oh,
one.
yeah,
We've
yeah,
heard that one many
fantastic,
times.
that one.
Yeah.
Heard that one many times. There's been a goal!
Bow!
And big up to Kalazic, who scores what could be the winner for Wolves. He was injured with a horrendous ACL in the pre-season to his first ever game as a Wolves player. But he's come back today and scored for Wolves against Bournemouth. And I did say it would be Wolves 2-1. Just so you know.
scored a winner earlier in the season as well. I remember coming.
Fulham, Everton.
Can't remember,
Might
but
have
it
been
was
Everton,
a
I
1-0
think.
winner. I remember that, and I was like, "Yo, I hope he goes on to kind of score a few goals for them because his profile's a weird one. He's like 6'7" giant.
He's 6'7".
Mate, he's massive.
He is
Massive guy.
a beast. He's like Nikola Zigic with an extra 15 kilos,
We've had another goal.
and it's 3-0 at Brentford.
And
Yes.
Godos, really bad result this for Burnley, who again
Damn.
lose. And it's not looking good whatsoever for Burnley as they have a man sent off and now they're 3 goals behind at home to Brentford. Another goal in the Championship, Kelechi Iheanacho, remember him? Goal for Leicester, 3-1 up away at Swansea. And Charlie Austin is still banging in goals, by the way, for Swindon.
Wow.
2-1 up away at Salford. Gary Neville will not be happy with that one. And there's confirmation of the Saman Ghoddos goal on the 87th minute for Brentford as well. We're also hearing it's Leeds 3-2 now. After being 2-0 down.
Fair play to him.
No way.
Fair play to him.
Leeds out of nowhere.
Pulling
2-0
it back.
down
Fair
away
pulling it
to
back.
Norwich and they've gone
That's
and
my
bloody won
favourite
it.
scoreline in football is 3-2. That's
2-0
the
down,
best
win
scoreline
3-2.
in football. It
5-4,
genuinely
man.
is. What's
5-4.
yours? Best scoreline in football.
2-0.
Yeah?
2-0.
Ah.
Clean, deadly, get the job done, keep a clean sheet,
Like today,
get out of there.
Liverpool, you mean?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Like,
Yes!
I think the 3-2 is for the neutral. If I'm the manager,
spectacle.
3-2, I can't
Yeah,
stand
you're
that.
fuming,
Too
man.
many goals conceded.
yeah.
The game is chaotic. Why do we need to rely on our character to come back?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just do the job properly.
That's
so
fair.
for me, 2-0 is always the 2-0 is a comfortable scoreline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, Leeds through Somerville again. and now 3-2 up. What a game that has been for Leeds. Real mixed emotions there, as they potentially could look to see out this game with all 3 points. AGT and Mustafi, says Adams.
Lol.
Frank Lampard and Big John. Bash, says Captain Morgan. 2-1 to Notts County. Ezio in the comments is absolutely buzzing with that one. Richarlison and a pigeon. Bruno Fernandes and a rat, says Mutalib. AGT and I'm going to lose my job, man. Have some respect.
I'm going to lose my job.
He's bold, that guy. Have some respect.
What was that? What's the female broadcaster lad?
Claire Bolden.
Claire Bolden.
That's Anthony Gordon.
Everybody in the comments.
Gordon.
Everybody in the comments. Go and Google Claire Bolden.
Yeah, all right, Neville Longbottom.
Yeah.
Remember that one? Neville Longbottom, bro.
Claire Bolden.
It's crazy. Expressions and Semedo, says Kingpin. Troops and Ronaldo. I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, let's get back onto the football. We've got a few minutes to go. Troops and so lanky, but didn't
not so
expressions
lanky.
call him Dominic not so lanky?
Yeah.
There you go. This ref is a City fan. That is not a foul by Ferguson. Vardiel's gone down very, very easily there. As we approach the last 5 minutes of all the games in the Premier League, it's been a good match day of games today. So far, it's Wolves winning away at Bournemouth in the 90th minute. We've got Brentford 3, Burnley 0, City 2-1 up, 88th minute there. I did say City would win 2-1 in that game. Newcastle 4-0 up at home to Crystal Palace, and Nottingham Forest 2-1 up at home to
Man City's assistant fella and Kevin Keegan.
Okay.
Lads, honestly, the amount of times that I look at them two is unbelievable.
Okay, we'll see. We'll come back to that one. Who's going to score the last goal? We did the first goal, name and number and team and minute. Who's going to score the last goal?
I think the last goal's been scored, to be fair.
Who was it?
Yeah.
No, I think there's a goal for Brighton, maybe. I'm going to go Fatty again. 92 minutes.
I think Wolves getting that winner.
Yeah, we're in added time at Wolves now. That looks like it is the winner from the big man up front.
That red card.
They needed that, man. That red card, second half, get that early momentum goal, go on to finish the game.
Perfect second half for them, lads.
Yeah.
That's why I think
Cunha, both their nines actually scoring today.
Yeah.
Cunha, the one that was starting, and then Kaladzic, who come off the bench.
Don't forget, Bournemouth are down to 10 men as well.
Because they've just got that little bit of defend and that little bit of grit that they need to get results. Not fancy, but getting the results.
Oi. Look at Haaland there. Dropping deep, dragging the ball, nutmegging. Oh, my days.
Veltman with the foul on Haaland there. Middlesbrough 1-0 up at home to Birmingham. Will it be a defeat for the first game under the new manager, Wayne Rooney? Probably. Oh, my goodness me. Luton out of nowhere have nicked an equaliser. You said we'd seen the last goal. We have not. It's Elia Adebayo with the goal, and Luton may get a point. Fuad is asking for a VAR check in this one. Have you got any reasons for that, or are you just?
I'm just
getting ready for Monday night.
Yeah.
Against Fulham. Love it.
You are slow.
I'm quick, bro. I'm quick. Set me up like that. I've got you. Morgan Rogers with the goal for Middlesbrough to hopefully for them give them all 3 points against the Blues. Bad start that for Wayne Rooney. But look at this. Luton could be taking a point. Great comeback from them if it stays that way. Charlton now 4-0 up at home to Reading. It's full time between Blackburn and Cardiff in the Championship. And Crewe, after being 2-0 down, are now winning 4-2 away at Crawley. And in the Wolves game, it's a bit of a feisty one, boys. We've seen 1 red card and 7 yellow cards in this game. 5 of them to Wolves, and all 3 of the front players for Wolves have all been booked. But they won't care because it looks like they're going to nick all 3 points there. The full-time whistle is seconds away in that one. A very, very convincing win for Newcastle at home to Palace. But Luton fans, how do you feel? 2-0 down at half-time, 83 minutes, Ogbene scores, and then Adebayo scores from a Tom Lockyer assist in the 92nd minute. Will Man City hold on against Brighton? There's just 2 or 3 minutes to go left in that one.
Oh, come on,
Brighton have been really impressive in the second half. In fact, they've won the second half, really 1-0 as things stand. Luton will stay up, says Craig Flynn, as a Luton fan for many years, I've accepted relegation, says Adams. But you must be absolutely buzzing right now because it looks like you will be getting a point away to Forest after being 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go. What a result that is.
Great result.
As a Luton fan, we're winning the Prem, says ZK.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
We can all see that, lad. That's definitely happening.
M Smoke says Carrick has got one up against his old teammate Rooney with Middlesbrough.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well said.
Cheers. Kennedy and Anne-Marie as a lookalike, says Nas. That's not a bad shout, you know. It's not an awful shout. Kennedy and the singer Anne-Marie, you know. No?
Yeah.
There you go. Embarrassing AGT would take... I've already read that one out. The Salah and Ronaldinho thing, mate. Come on. You don't need to spam the comments with that. Right, let's go to Huddersfield. They're 2-1 up at home to Palace, to QPR, who desperately need a win. And it could be another game without that right here in the last few minutes against Huddersfield. Again, looking back at the City goal, was one for Alvarez, one for Haaland. The second one was a great finish from Haaland, and it was poor defending really from City, which led to Ansu Fati getting his first goal for Brighton. But will it be enough? We're deep into added time there as well. Bit of argy-bargy between Gary O'Neill and his assistant there, but they've got it was surely Sean Derry, actually, that was. He used to be QPR captain.
Shit, yeah. Oh boy, I remember he was great when he was like 30.
Last minute winner for Barnet. That's what you want to see. Barnet 3, Maidenhead 2. Dale Gorman with the goal, the winning goal in the 91st minute. And as we've seen, Wolves have taken all 3 points away at the Vitality. The Gary O'Neill derby has ended, and it's his current team that beat his former team, and the big man buzzing up front to get his goal, as is Mateus Cunha as well. He gets a goal, the first one to set the pace today. That's the next question I've got for you. How long does Iriola have now as Bournemouth manager?
I don't know, man. It's starting to look a little bit shaky, especially when you start losing games at home to teams in and around you that you should be kind of competing against. I think the first game of the season, was it against West Ham, was kind of like a real sign. That was West Ham, who hadn't had a great summer at that point, were low on confidence, you would have thought, coming into the season. The summer going the way they just lost their best player. And that really, you almost felt like set the tone for the season. And Bournemouth had just been very, very underwhelming. And I said before the game that both of these teams are almost going to treat this like a 6-pointer. As soon as that red card came second half, you just almost felt like it was a ticking time bomb of if Wolves have enough quality in attack to really take the goal. And today, both their number 9 scored. So, listen, best team won, it seems like.
There's no coincidence, right? There's no coincidence that Bournemouth started picking up points when Gary O'Neill was the manager. And now there's no coincidence again when Wolves are picking up points because Gary O'Neill is the manager. They did the wrong thing. I remember everybody sitting at this table before the season started and was like, why did Bournemouth let Gary O'Neill go? Stupid decision, like, because now
brought in Iraola because he's
good.
He'd done a good job in Spain. Maybe sometimes it's like when
he grew up with
Pulisic and Mark Hughes. Sometimes clubs want to change their brand a little bit and go a little bit more continental.
He wants to take the next step.
Absolutely, and I felt like maybe with Iraola, as you said, it might have been the wrong decision, and maybe just sticking out with Gary O'Neill, someone who'd saved you, someone who was playing actually good football as well. It wasn't like he was playing ugly football, and since he's gone to Wolves, he's been playing good football as well. So I felt like today has actually deserved a bit of justice for him.
He'll be made up going back there, lad. He will feel some type of joy
big win
today.
For him, that, because how he was treated by the club at the end was not acceptable, and he gets the win today. Full time in the Premier League's 3 o'clock kickoffs is fast approaching. We've had the final whistle at Brentford, we've had the final whistle at Newcastle. Resounding home wins for each team in those fixtures. Southend ended up winning 5-0 in the end as well. Will there be late drama in the game at the Etihad? We're having some added time here for an injury to Solly Marsh. It looked like a bad one, to be fair. He's now off on a stretcher, hands covering his face. It looked really nasty when that one happened. But yeah, what a result that is for Luton, by the way.
Yeah,
2-2. And there's been a red card at the Etihad. There is late drama at the Etihad. It's Manuel Akanji, Fuad, with the late second red yellow card. Second yellow.
Second yellow.
Got the one earlier, didn't he? Do you know what? Brighton could have got something in this game, couldn't they? They really could have, lad, but they just haven't got over the line with it. Painful.
And Newcastle, as I said, their resounding home win 4-0 against Crystal Palace. perfect afternoon for the Geordies,
Easy
really,
for them,
looking
that,
at
wasn't
what they've got in the week. It's a good, great result, I should say. Nottingham Forest 2, Luton 2. That is now finished. The Hatters getting a big point away in the Premier League at Nottingham Forest. A hard place to go to, but Luton fans will be absolutely buzzing with that result there.
Yeah.
Huddersfield 2, QPR 1. That is now finished. But the one game in the Premier League that is still ongoing right now is Manchester City and Brighton. We're in the 98th minute now. A red card for Akanji. Will we see the full-time whistle blowing that one soon? Hull 1, Southampton 2. A big win that for Southampton. Again, a monstrous away day that is for the Southampton fans to go all the way up to Hull. But they will be coming back down on the trains with 3 points. They won't care about the time travelled. Exeter in League One have lost 2-0 at home to Wigan. And Leicester again have picked up a really big point, 3 points I should say, away at Swansea. The Foxes are doing really well in the Championship right now. Talk to me about this second Akanji yellow card, boys. What have we seen?
Stupid, petulant. Blocked the man off,
Yeah.
then complained about it. Just get on with your game, lad. Referees, right, sometimes, I really believe this, you make a tackle that's on a borderline tackle and then you act petulantly afterwards, they're like, that's enough for me to give you a yellow now. Whereas if you go up to them with respect, they probably won't give you the yellow. They'll probably let you off. To be fair, honestly, right, do you want me to be totally honest? It's the exact same as Kanate. It's the exact same as
Grab him by the
Kanate.
waist, yeah.
If he is getting sent off, then Kanate should be getting sent
Those
off.
are the kind of challenges you get away, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you just go up to the referee before the game,
Go,
say,
yeah.
how are the kids?
Yeah.
Family all well?
Every game I
all good.
ever played
Wife
before the
okay?
game, I just go and pretend like I give a shit about his life. And I promise you, throughout the game, there was 1 or 2 challenges I always left behind where I left a mark. And he would just be like, that's your
It's good
last
lad,
warning there. That's your last one.
a
And
bit
I'm
naughty,
like,
I know
that
you're
one.
a nice lad.
I'm really sorry. I was
Won't
trying to
happen
go for the
again.
ball. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
kids are all good.
But
Wife okay?
you
No
start,
worries.
you know,
Here's yellow. Yeah.
second one.
A lot of fake scores
Rodri
in
gets
the
away with
chat.
that as well.
A lot of people saying Ansu Fati scored again, but he didn't. It is now, I think, full time at the Etihad. 2-1 slim
Darn
win.
it!
Very,
Darn
very,
it.
very, very, very slim win for Man City. They finished the game with 10 men, but they won't care. They're back on the winning streak after 2 successive defeats in the Premier League. As I said, within the next 15 to 20 minutes, we will be back on here. Chelsea versus Arsenal on DR Sports. Can't wait for it. This has been the Saturday Football Show. This is the only one destination for all of your 3 o'clock kickoffs all over the country. Confirmation now that Leeds have won. Massive 3 points for them. Massive shout out to Fuad as well today.
Big
on the
ups,
show.
big ups, big ups.
Brilliant knowledge. You'll be seeing him very soon again for Chelsea versus Arsenal. Great to see Doyle back on the Saturday Football Show as well.
Thank you for having me.
And I've been AGT. You've been watching the Saturday Football Show. We'll see you next week. Take care. Well done, boys.
Nice one.